What's up, everybody? It's Saturday, June the 20th. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody. How about y'all unmute and say Happy Father's Day to everybody out there in the world?
Happy Father's Day to all the wonderful fathers.
Happy
Yay!
Dad's
Oh,
Day. We
no,
only
it's
have
not
one
Happy Father's Day.
father.
That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow, the 21st. But either way, still
Happy day.
yeah, Happy Father's Day. You dig us?
Happy day.
We early one day. We early one day.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
it is okay. We can make it Father's Day weekend. How about that?
That's
Anyway,
right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Happy
roll
Father's
around here.
you know what
That's
I'm
the way we're rolling.
talking about?
We need to celebrate the fathers more anyway, baby.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I appreciate it. And we think we all appreciate it. Yes, today's going to be a very, very, very interesting day. We're going over Trayton and Janette's situation in Ponca City, Oklahoma, out there in the boondocks. Them boys, they got a pretty wild situation going on, and I found out that, well, just going through it, it's very egregious. It's pretty wild. And I think that we need to go through it to find accountability. We need to get the record straight. We need to understand that there are people out there that are operating in good faith. And there's people out there that are really committing conspiracy against the people while labeling the people to be conspirators in some form or fashion. And so we're going to break that down today and go through that. But again, I just want to have everybody actually unmute again, if you don't mind, and say hello, world, out there to everybody in the world today.
Hello, Americans.
Hello.
Grand Rising.
hello, people.
That's everybody? That's everybody, everybody? Okay. All right. I see y'all gonna be a little weak sauce on me this morning. That's okay. Wake up, get your coffee. Anyways, what I wanted to do is again bring on Trayton and Janette. They are founders of the Hope Foundation Fund, and kind of explain, or actually just introduce yourself. I think that's probably the best. We'll start off there on an introduction, and y'all can let us know what you got in.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Sounds
phenomenal.
good.
Thanks for having me on Wisedome. I really appreciate it. I'm the director of the Hope Foundation Fund. I started about 10 years ago. I grew up in a military family and was around a lot of people who had home insecurity, being locked up for no reason. It just been a long journey. So about 10 years ago, I started the Hope Foundation Fund, and I've been rolling ever since. And you can check it out on YouTube and also www.hopetrust.foundation to see more what we do.
Janette, how about yourself?
Say that again.
How about yourself?
I'm just an advocate for the Hope Foundation. I don't.
I'll talk to her. She's one of the top real estate agents in Oregon. Okay. She's a cancer survivor. She has traveled the world and the country. And let me tell you one thing about this girl right here. She is a crusader for justice. She files paperwork. She does everything she has to do. And she's a sweet person. And, what happened in Ponca City is going to show you how wrong they are, because this lady right here is a hard worker.
That's awesome. Everybody welcome Janette and Trayton.
Welcome.
Welcome, y'all.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I'm
You're
trying to
doing
roll
God's
back.
work. Thank you.
Hey, John Tracy, welcome.
So was that hopetrustfoundation.org or .com?
It's www.hopetrust.foundation.
Oh, okay. Hope Trust.
Yep.
.org, or do you know?
No, dot foundation.
Dot
Yeah.
Foundation? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
we own it.
All right, nice. All right.
So going into the situation, y'all kind of reached out to Operation Wisedome and myself, about 2-3 weeks ago. But y'all have actually you've been around as far as Operation Wisedome is concerned for, I would say, almost a year now.
Yep.
When we first met, you didn't have this situation going on, but explain to me, I guess, what the first situation is and what's been going on in relation to that.
So about 2.5, 3 years ago, Janette and I, we had a business where we had a private lot where we housed RVs, cars, and people would bring their cars that were abandoned and stuff like that. And so we started another business where we would help people with abandoned cars and get rid of nuisance cars in the neighborhood and in the city. And people would call us and say, hey, man, this car's been sitting in my driveway for 3 years. Can you come get it? So long story short, there was a vehicle that was in the red zone for about 3 months. We had some agents go out and talk to the property manager. They said that the car does not belong there. So it was towed to our lot. Unbeknownst to us, the person's car was someone who had friends in law enforcement. And they emailed us and said, hey, I'm not going to pay you for this. I want my car back. And if you don't give it back to us, we're going to ruin your life. And we thought it was a joke.
Hey.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we thought it was a joke. And this person named Charlie Warner, Detective Charlie Warner of AZ DPS, he made it his personal mission to ruin my life because that his friend's car got towed. And you'll see as we go on the video, and he was stalking us. He stole all our stuff, lied. He said I was a monster. He actually have him on recording saying that he's going to ruin my life because nobody likes me. He never investigated me. He said I didn't do anything wrong, but because no one likes me and he hears bad things about me, he's going to get me. And here we are today.
Now, in relation to this,
led to this.
All of that led to this video here.
Yeah.
He was stalking me on flock cameras.
Oh, wow. That's
and we had to shut down our business. We've lost everything.
We lost everything. And now the same officers in Ponca City told him, hey, these guys are scammers. Take care of them, because he couldn't get us in Arizona. And so now they're trying to take all of our land and everything there and put us in jail.
okay. So this happened almost
It was July
a year
18th.
ago, July 18th, 2025, almost a year ago
I
now.
won't forget
And the
that day.
case is dismissed. We did nothing wrong. It's over, but he couldn't get us. So now he's trying to get another state to get us.
All right, let's see how this goes.
If it's not an attorney, hang it up. We're past a regular traffic stop now. We're not trying to extend it. We're past the traffic stop. Yeah, what? The plate didn't return or what? You refuse to identify as a passenger.
If you have a picture, have them send you a picture if you can ID him.
That's another thing. Trey was the passenger, and passengers are not obligated to reveal their identity unless they themselves have been suspected of committing a crime.
And that's a nice badge, too.
They're gonna have you step out for what?
All right, let's go ahead and start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Those guys had the blue white cars. Those no more? The blue white cars?
No. You from Arizona too?
No.
Where you from?
I'm from Oregon.
Florida?
Oregon.
I can't hear you, brother. It's really loud out here.
Oh, sorry.
Oregon too? Okay. You have an ID with you?
No.
Okay. Do you have some sort of identification?
No. It says right here.
Didn't return or what? Okay, what? The plate didn't return or what? You refuse to identify as a passenger.
As a passenger?
I do want to call your attention to a law that they could have pulled him over for. I don't endorse this. I think it's completely bogus, just like the licensing and...
If you can ID him. Where they headed to? You stopped him because the plate's not associated? Is that what? Sorry, it wasn't me. What do we got going on? What did he stop me for? It's a company vehicle? Okay. What's you gave him the registration and all that? Okay. Who's the company? You gave him the registration. Does it match the plate? Yeah. Okay.
And that's why you give registration, because the registration...
Okay. There's a lot of you guys. Why is there a lot of you guys? I don't know. What's your name, boss?
So what's all going right here? They're just asking you questions?
They're delaying the shot. So we don't know, but now we do know, because after the fact, they were talking to Charlie Warner and they were trying to confirm if it was me or not. And
who's Charlie Warner?
Charlie Warner is a detective that his friend got his car towed, the one that said he was going to ruin our life.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's the one that initiated. He actually changed their plate in the system and said our plate wasn't valid so that we could get pulled over.
So more or less, he put that our plate was not associated with the vehicle. He put in there that basically the vehicle was stolen, that we had firearms, and that he was a dangerous person. So everything he did could have gotten us killed. It's disgusting.
That's crazy. What the hell? Okay, so what was the reasoning? What was the reasoning for asking you out the car, Janette? Because of the false information?
No, he just asked me to step out of the car. He didn't tell me why, but I think it's because they wanted to separate us and get me to talk about him. And I didn't. So then it went from there. And they literally arrested me because I refused to speak to them.
And they knocked me out. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
You hear what he said?
Yeah.
There's a warrant out for you.
Did you actually have a warrant or no?
No.
They beat you.
Oh, I see dogs.
Remember what I told you? You hear anything?
Who Trayton was?
Oh my goodness.
You have no rights over me. You have no fucking rights over me. You got to put your fish. We got to sit there waiting. Huh? We got to sit there waiting. Jay, I love you very much, okay? Remember, don't give them no conceit.
Okay, what ended up happening with this situation?
It's dismissed. They the guy was in jail for 28 days. He was trying to see if I had a warrant. The court would not let me bail out because I wouldn't admit to being the person that they were looking for. It took 28 days, friends calling and stuff like that. The cases are dismissed now.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to get the dismissal?
About 6-7 months.
It was almost a year for you. It took me 6 months.
Yeah, it was almost a year for me. They went from 20 years to 10 years to 3 years. And then they said, if I just submit to something, they'll give me time served. And I just kept fighting it. And they refused to give me assistance of counsel. I did all this without an attorney, with her help and a friend of ours named MJ, which is really good at these court type of things.
Yeah.
And so now, from that situation, since everything's been dismissed, what is the movement on that?
We have an attorney who saw Here's the Deal. So shout out to Brian on Here's the Deal. Thank you very much. He saw that video, and I want to say BZ Watchdog. He's the one that started this, BZ Watchdog. Because of their videos, an attorney stepped up and said, we're taking their case because it was an unlawful stop. We should have never been pulled over.
We were in the back of a police car, handcuffed in the back of a police car for 7 hours.
5 for me. Yep.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And they knocked me out and chipped my tooth, and I had a knot on my head, but they took those cameras away, but we got
But I have a video of him where they're holding him and his head's hanging because he was passed out.
He's calling me a piece of shit motherfucker.
Yeah, I heard him saying a lot of that too.
So what they did is they went through our truck and they took everything. All of my paperwork, because we were heading to Ponca City on business, and they took all of our stuff. So this particular detective, Charlie Warner, went through all of our paperwork, and it showed all of the properties that I had just purchased and won on a tax lien, and then the other properties that we were working on. So that's how
Ponca City got
information saying that we were these really bad people, because he took it upon himself to call them and like take it to a completely other state.
So this all starts from y'all doing a business. Like right now, we got a car in our driveway we need hauled off, right? Someone called, wanted the car to be taken away. It ended up being, what was the issues there? How did it even lead to law enforcement getting involved in that regard?
What happens is we followed the paperwork. We followed everything that DPS requires you to do. And we've done this many times. We never had any issues. We've gotten the vehicles titled. We either donate them to people who need them or we sell them, right? Well, this particular person, he did not want to pay the fine, because if you have an abandoned vehicle, they notify you, the Arizona department does, and they charge you a $500 fee. Well, he got angry and he was just a big old thug. Come to find out, he didn't even pay rent on his apartment, and he was behind like what, $16,000. And then he tried to sue us for that. So basically, he didn't want to pay the fine for leaving his car unattended for months in a red zone. And he knows somebody in the police department, and he pulled a string. Is that what you call it?
Well, thank you. You too. Bet.
Let's mute up. Okay, so he pulled some strings to get a complaint done, and then that's how this whole thing started.
And then Charlie Warner basically said that I'm a scammer and that if I don't give the car back, you're gonna ruin my life. And then they stole all our cars, shut down our business, stole all our paperwork. And he literally went to every person I did business with personally and said, this guy's a scammer. He's a monster. Don't do business with him. And when I was trying to do business with people, it was weird. They were disrespecting me and they were like, oh, I can't talk to you. The cops came here.
Yeah, it was
And
bad.
Now, is this over in Arizona or in Oklahoma?
Yeah, it was in Arizona.
Arizona. Okay. Okay, so y'all are traveling out to Ponca City at this time last year in July. And you had already started at least doing something in Ponca City at that point in time.
Correct.
You'd gone to jail, had gotten back out of jail. Of course, there's turbulence there, right? And then you finally get everything dismissed. Now, was this whole thing with Ponca City before the dismissal, or how did that play out?
It bled into it together. She sued the city of Ponca City for turning off the power and stealing our money and wouldn't let us do our business. But we didn't know this until after the fact that Charlie Warner called them and said, hey, don't do business with these guys. They're scammers. So now we're like, why is everybody being mean?
Yeah, this entire time I'm fighting with the city and trying to get them to do the right thing. And I didn't know that this detective had called and, made contact and said whatever he said to them.
Well, hold on one second. What I want to try and figure out is, if you're scammers, why isn't there anything being brought upon you in Arizona for being scammers?
Exactly.
Right.
The charges were dismissed because we weren't.
I have a recording of him calling me, apologizing and saying that I did everything legal and that he wished he was that smart to do what we do.
Who?
The detective Charlie Warner.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's do this. So charges were dismissed when? Around February, March of this year?
Hers were dismissed in December.
I think so. Maybe November.
And mine were March, April.
Yeah.
Yep, April.
It's finally the dismissal in April. And when did this situation come about as far as Ponca City is concerned?
The warrant came out literally 1 month later, May 20th.
May 20th.
No. Was it? Yeah. I thought it was in April. I mean, I'm sorry, February.
Oh, wait, February.
May 20th was the news article.
Okay, that's true. Sorry about that.
I have the dates.
Yeah, it was the 20th of February. So literally within a few months of my
What happened is, and I mean, I can go into the details from the beginning, but what happened was we did a FOIA request and they didn't want to give us the information. And the more we pushed, and I kept calling out the city on their bullshit. And
not yet. Yeah, not
what?
yet. Don't give up that yet.
Okay.
So what would let's see. So y'all are traveling back. You're doing your business in Arizona. You're also doing business out in Oklahoma. Is there other states that you're doing business in as well?
Oregon. I do business all over, and I've never had a problem. We've had one problem in Arizona, but we own the property now. So
okay, so let's ask this: what is it specifically that y'all were doing?
So what we do is we go do over-the-counter tax sales, and then we actually talk to the city or the county, depending on who, and we go and say, hey, do you have any distressed properties that we can buy? So we buy those, fix them up, and we either donate them to a helping family or we'll sell them to someone to help them get a home, because it's so hard for someone to get a mortgage to get a home. So, and there's so many properties out there that are just vacant and abandoned.
So utilizing vacant or abandoned properties.
Mm-hmm.
This is somewhat that would, I guess, lead us into the adverse possession type of vibes.
Yeah, but we don't do that. But that could be considered if you want to take it that way. We literally buy it from the city or the county. We pay for it. We pay them money and they give it to us.
Well, I got a really good friend. He was supposed to be at an event last year. My boy Jalil Bay. Bay. And
I've spoken to him.
We've spoken to him.
Morris Lighthouse. And thanks for the autographed book, by the way, broski. And he does adverse possession. I think he's been in the property right now for the past 8 years and hasn't paid at all. So adverse possession is real. It's a real legal thing. There are laws around that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you have there's abandoned property out there and you can fix it up and ain't nobody else doing it before it's torn all the way down, go on ahead and do so.
The city would do it. What happens is the city would take it. The city would take the property, and then they'll sell it to whoever they want to sell to. So it's the same thing. We're not doing nothing different than what they would do.
Well, you got more power than the city, anyways, in a lot of forms and fashions. Being that they're just a corporation, they're just an entity, right? You are we the people, the highest of the highest. So, okay, so we get done with everything as far as this arrest. Everything gets dismissed, but you're already doing work in Ponca City, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let's lay out what was that work and how did it facilitate?
Do you want me to say?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I'll do it.
I'll cut on once he starts out. I get
She's so
nervous.
sweet. See what I'm saying? Like, and they're trying to teach you a scammer. Like, so we hire local people in the neighborhoods. We canvass. I send out cards. Hey, everybody, you want to work? We're going to help restore the neighborhood. We talk to the city. We talk to the county. We say, hey, we're here. This is what we do. We're the Hope Foundation Fund. We're going to help revitalize the city. And then we get volunteers to come help clean, take out trash, mow the grass, all those type of things. And, they get paid and it makes the community better, gives people homes too.
So coming out to Ponca, I guess just how did the situation start as far as you came out to Ponca, you started doing some community work. I guess go into the aspects of, I guess, like everything that transpired that led to this, essentially.
Okay. So 2 homes in particular, we were doing work on. The city was fining them for having their grass too long. They called it
nuisance.
Yeah, nuisance something, and they put liens on it. And the one house had stickers up on it, and it said that it was abandoned. The city declared it abandoned, and it was all boarded up. So we're like, well, shoot, we're going to take care of it. So we sent notices to the owners, to the city, and we notified the police department as well when we were doing work on the property to let them know, hey, we're doing work on this property. Please keep an eye out on it, because clearly there's been a squatters and drugs and things like that, thefts, vandalism. And if we're working on it, we want to make sure that it stays safe. So we notified everybody that you could notify. And
they said it was okay.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, gee, thanks,
Until Charlie Warner.
Yeah. So we're working on the house and we're doing that. And then the other one, the woman had passed away. The taxes had been late for 3 years, going on 4 years. It still has not had the 4th year paid. We went ahead and we paid the taxes up and we took over the maintenance on the home. And we sent out notices and whatnot. We talked to the neighbors and they explained what was going on with the house.
When we did our research on the home, we didn't know the lady had passed away. We just found out that her son, Jonathan Clay, abused her and she was being beaten by her own son. He was a drug addict. And so we felt that story compelled us. We said, we want to help this lady. So we paid her taxes and all this other stuff. We didn't know she passed away. And because everything is online and he has a restraining order on the house. And once we found that out, we said, well, this is a story.
He has a restraining order on the house. What do you mean? He has a restraining order against him on being at that house?
He was beating his own mother. She had to get a restraining order against him. And now they're trying to say we burglarized the home because we paid the taxes. And
Well, it comes out that we paid the taxes on it. So there's a couple of things going on in Ponca City. It's not just one property. But before we get into that, we were working on the one particular home. We had permission from the homeowner. I was able to contact her, and she was a Black lady, single mom. I think she has 3 children, but she bought the house, moved to Ponca City, thought she was going to have this great life. And the city kept harassing her for the grass. But instead of sending the development people out, they sent the police out saying, oh, your grass is too long. Oh, you can't blow your blower towards the street and whatnot. Well, anyway, they harassed this woman so much that she actually fled in the middle of the night with her children because she was afraid. And we've interviewed her and we have that. I think you have a copy of that, Cam. So we're like, we're going to help her. Now her house is going into foreclosure because she can't make that mortgage payment plus pay where she's staying now.
They won't turn on the power.
Yes. So I go to the city and I said, hey, how do we take care of this? The city specifically told me, pay off the lien and get a permit. And that's exactly what I did. And then we went to the utility company because they said that's the next step. The utility company will turn on the power. So we went to the utility company and we had them turn on the power. We were so excited because it took me like a week to get them to turn the power on. So when it comes on, everybody that's working on the house is like, yay, this is awesome. So we've got people there. We're cleaning. We're doing everything we need to do. And then next thing you know, the cops show up. And I'm like, okay, well, how can I help you? And they were trying to cite us for trespass. And I'm like, well, how can you do that when I have permission to be here from the owner?
And the cop said, the city attorney says this is their house. This is the city's property. And I said, what? That don't make sense. And then when I said that, he got all frantic. He's like, well, I don't mean it like that.
Yeah. And then they wanted all of my identifying information. And I told them no. And they wanted everybody that was working in the house to come out. And I said, absolutely not. You have no right to be here. And then they threatened to arrest me. So then that's when I called him and I said, hey, you got to come over here and talk to this guy.
Now, is this the first situation? And when was this about?
This was at the end of June.
Okay. So
like about 28th or 29th of June.
Of last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this started on pretty quick. So this was actually before even the arrest in and of itself.
Yeah.
Correct.
So y'all were traveling. Okay, at the end of June, y'all were in Oklahoma. You traveled back to Arizona. This is where you had the incident while you were going back to Oklahoma again?
Correct. And prior to that, did we have a meeting at that point?
I'm not sure. I don't think we had a meeting.
Well, actually, yeah, we did. It's so confusing because it's been so long, but we had a meeting with the city, and the city, the city attorney is a jerk and he wasn't going to believe anything we said. Yeah. But the head guy, Chris Henderson, he was really rude to me originally. And by the end of the meeting, he cut the attorney off and said, hey, I think you're wrong and that you don't have the right to do that to these people. So they're like, go ahead and finish your work on the home. Well, then there's a lady in there. She's a commissioner and her name is Stephanie Austin. She pretended to be a nobody and refused to give us her information, and that she was working with a certain real estate company. So she's got a conflict of interest going on. And she looked at the city attorney and she told him, you deal with them. Yeah. And then that's when things fell apart.
Yeah, the city attorney looked at the detective. I'm sitting right next to a detective with a 45 on his side. Why does he have to have a gun in a meeting? And the city attorney,
y'all are moving too far. We'll get there. Now, one of the things though that I did notice that when we were speaking with each other is that y'all were stating that these homes, y'all are dealing with two different homes, right? So that these homes were actually on the abandoned list with the city.
Yes.
Okay. And being on the abandoned property list with the city, y'all noticed that there were back taxes that need to be paid. So y'all paid those taxes, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And then started working on the home to restore the homes, correct?
Not necessarily the first one. We just did maintenance on the grass and took photos because we still didn't have we weren't all the way in the process yet.
Right.
But
and
the
we
400
had spoken to the owner, which then later on we found out she had passed away. But we did notify the city that, hey, you can stop finding them. We're taking over the maintenance on the yard, yada, yada, yada.
How did you do that? How did y'all notify them?
We put a notice on the door with our information.
We sent them letters.
And we sent them
mail,
certified letters in the mail.
So with certified letters, I guess, just what kind of language did y'all put in those kind of notices that y'all sent over to the city?
I would have to get it and look at it.
Well, just not verbatim, but just like a general. What was y'all letting them know about?
Just basically knowing that we saw that this house has been abandoned. We want to let you know that we're here as a foundation to help out and to clean. If you have any questions, please call us because you don't have to keep finding these people. And because when you find them, these people are old people out there, man, and they don't care. They will find you 2 or 3 times. Oh, you can't pay us? Get out of the house. Yeah. And now you got a 75-year-old, like, where am I going to go?
We basically, told them that we're taking over the maintenance on the home, and we notified the owners, and we told the owners we're not trying to take your house by any means. And it says that right in there, and they're trying to accuse us of stealing people's homes. And it literally says, we're not trying to take your home. We're here to help you. Contact us and we'll work something out with you. If you can't pay it, we're here to help you.
Okay, so when y'all went to go pay the taxes, where did you pay them? Did you just pay them online? Did you have to go to an actual location? What was that process like?
I called the or the county treasurer, and they instructed me on how to pay them online. And then one of them, I believe, I paid in person.
Yeah.
And I actually had a really good relationship with the treasurer because I had won some bids, and her and I had been talking, and I felt like I was beginning to get a really good relationship with the city recorder lady as well, but they've ruined all of that.
They even talked about doing a development deal with this Hope Foundation. We're going to build these tiny homes and house people in the community.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were going to pay for it because we have the land.
Interesting.
Say something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is hitting home to me. I got a on debt, got a $45,000 van that was half converted. And now I'm living in Mukilteo, and the cops say ordinance overrules my rights of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness because I choose the way I choose to live.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Thanks.
No worries, brother, for sure. So coming into it, you've paid the taxes. Let's go from the point of where you paid the taxes. Everything ran smooth there. You got notification back. What did y'all start doing then? Did you start,
We actually came back. We had other business to take care of. We had people in Ponca City that were handling things for us.
Local people.
Yeah, to mow the grass and just to keep an eye on things. And then we're like, okay, well, we have to get back out there because my bid was coming due and I had to show up for the council meeting in order to qualify to get the homes that I had bid on. So that's when we were heading back to Ponca City and we got pulled over. The cops followed us for 7 miles.
They followed us.
In Ponca?
No, on
Arizona,
40 in Arizona.
Oh, okay, in Arizona. So y'all had already paid the taxes. You got pulled over in Arizona, and then you head back. Now, what and where do you think the problems started to arise?
The problem started after, because the city people were like, okay, whatever, you can do that. They're not doing anything wrong. The problem started after we got pulled over and he took all of our paperwork. He had no right to take my paperwork.
He's like, whoa, they got all these properties. Whoa. He was like so excited. And he's like, they're scamming. They can't have, how they have all this?
I mean, if you take the time and watch the videos that are out there, they're like saying that I'm fraudulent because I have a notary.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just ridiculous. The police here are stupid.
They just made it up out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
The police in Arizona or the police in Oklahoma?
Here.
The police in Oklahoma are very obtuse. They are just yes man. They don't really know what's going on. They just said, well, city attorney told me.
Yeah. And actually they were pretty easy to work with because every time I talked to them and I explained what was going on, I showed permits and whatnot, they were like, oh, you're fine. And they would go ahead and leave. They weren't thugs by any means.
Okay. When y'all say permits, what kind of permits were you getting approved for?
It was a building permit from the city.
For possessory building permit to restore the buildings because people stole the electricity. They stole the water heaters,
the air conditioners.
So we're trying to fix everything, fix windows, plumbing. We're doing all this on our bare hands. We're not hiring like big people with big money. So
you actually went to Ponca City and got a permit pulled to do rehabilitation on the home.
Yeah. Correct.
They granted an actual They granted an actual permit?
Yeah, they gave it to us.
And I posted it up on the window so that everybody could see it. Yeah.
Interesting. So they approved y'all for permits, essentially.
Exactly.
Okay. So then what other interactions were you having with them, again, kind of before or as the problem started? Because it seems as though that the problem started after the arrest. They went and searched into your information and started to reach out to Ponca City, I'm assuming, in some form of fashion. Is that correct?
Yes, the detective Warner, we have it on recording and it's in the police report that Detective Warner just called Detective Corey Vincent and the city attorney Allen and saying, hey, these guys are heading your way. They're scammers. Don't let them get away with it. You got to get them. And then they just stopped everything. They just blocked us.
Yeah. And then prior, Warner had called, but we didn't know that at this point. Okay. But the other house that the lady had passed away on and we had paid the taxes, we found out later that it was in probate. And their attorney contacted us and wanted to know the amount to pay off the lien on the home because they had a buyer on the house.
Okay, so y'all had a lien on the home at this point.
Correct.
And this lien was for what exactly?
The taxes. It was an equitable lien.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because we have to secure our interest when we pay money to
Yeah, for sure. So you had a lien on the home, and then someone reached out to y'all in relation to the lien because they were wanting to sell the home, correct?
Correct.
Okay, explain that.
So we went back and forth with the attorney. He wanted to know the price. He said, I need this ASAP because we're trying to get this sale done. Like his emails show him being desperate to get this paid off. So we're like, okay, we give him the amount. And then next thing you know,
he's like, I'm not going to pay you.
Yeah, he was just belligerent.
You're scammers.
I don't even know how to explain it.
Yes.
And now knowing it's because he got a phone call saying that we were scammers. But so then he refused to pay, and then I went to probate court. It was.
And as soon as we kept pushing more and more to say, hey, this is lawful, you got to pay us back, the city attorney said, if you guys keep pushing, we're going to create some charges if you keep pushing. So she sued the city for that. And when the city was going to be knowing that they were going to lose the lawsuit because it was clear as day. Now there's charges, and now there's cases against us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally.
So
everything I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
Well, I was just saying that everything that I put in the court,
the judge
they would strike me. They would dismiss it. They would ignore it. Like they ignored all of my stuff. And come to find out, all these asshats went to school together.
They all went to the same college. They live within a 2-mile radius. They've been doing business with each other for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
We're outsiders.
So there were some issues as well in relation to like electricity and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Go into that, like how did that kind of transpire? Because that's before you actually ended up, bringing forth an injunction and suing, correct?
Correct. We had the utilities turned on because we had the permit and doing work on the home. And then next thing you know, the police show up again, and then they try to arrest us. And we agreed to have a meeting with the city people. So we went ahead and did that. We go back out and they have turned, everything seems to be okay. We're out of the meeting. We go back out. They had turned the utilities off.
Yeah, literally.
And then they refused to turn it back on. So I had been fighting with them up until, October. And I kind of quit because
we were going through cases in Arizona.
We had our own stuff going on, but they refused to turn the utilities on, but they wouldn't give us a full reason.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, what was the reason for turning off the electricity?
Every time they asked for something, they said, okay, well, we need a lease or we need permission from the owner. Okay, so we got permission from the owner. And then 2 weeks later, they were like, okay, well, now we need a deposit. I'm like, we didn't say that the first time. Every time we give you what you want, there's another thing on top of it. Of what we're
and they kept saying, well, the city attorney, he's the one who's in charge of this.
The city attorney told us not to turn the power on.
Yeah.
You're like, what? And then when I call the city attorney, he's like, oh, everything's fine. You guys can do business. I have nothing to do with the electricity.
Exactly. And then I called him and talked to him. And then he threatened me verbally over the phone. And I finally said, you know what, this conversation's done. And I hung up on him. It was just ridiculous. And then the people at the city refused to speak to me after this. Yep. They sent me an email, the one guy that I had a decent relationship with. And he said, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you anymore, per the city attorney.
Yep. City attorney told everybody not to talk to us.
Yeah. And the homeowner called. We did everything they asked us to do. And then they tried to make us pay her past due bill. Yep. And I said, well, that's not right. Give me the lawful reason how you can do that. Anyway, it turned out that we were like, you know what, screw it. We're just going to pay the homeowner's amount so that we can get this house fixed. We went in there to do that. They called a freaking detective on me and refused to turn the power on. And I've talked to senators, governors, the attorney general.
I called the mayor. She won't refuse back. I found out the mayor is friends with Stephanie Austin because they literally live down the road from each other.
Everybody knows everybody there.
Stephanie Austin is who?
She is the city commissioner, but she pretends to be an assistant to Bobby Garrett of Cat 5. That's who they give all the money to when they steal people's homes. They use him as a pass-through because he's friends with them. See how that works? But we didn't know that.
I'm not going to say that
Allegedly.
because you better say allegedly because I don't have proof on that. Anything I'm stating, I have 100% proof that it was done. But I do have a message on Facebook where this particular news station, and I won't really go into it, but they put us on blast, and someone mentioned in there, well, apparently people didn't know Bobby Garrett. Apparently this guy runs the
town. Yeah. And I talked to Bobby Garrett a couple of weeks ago. I said, hey, are you and Stephanie Austin still together? He goes, I'm not with her. She doesn't work for me. And I have that on recording. So Stephanie Austin, if you look her up as a city commissioner, everybody, I encourage you, look her up. She has all these different businesses. She makes a business and then it's gone. And has different hairstyles in each business, different phone numbers. Like, she's in the game. She's doing some things.
And we've tried to get in contact with her multiple times, and they shield her, and she refuses to return a phone call. I tried to call the city manager. Apparently, he doesn't have voicemail, and they refuse to put me through to him. Everybody has voicemail. Are you kidding me? Just everywhere I went, I got dead ends.
And I would go and talk to the city commissioner and go to a meeting, but they're going to try to kidnap me.
So y'all did have a meeting with him. What was the purpose of the meeting for?
To just let us know who we are. And I sent them videos, our website. They looked at everything, but they looked at me with such disgust, Cam. Like, she was like, ugh, like, why are you coming here?
Oh yeah, not to be offensive, but in Oklahoma, it's because you're probably not white. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
And he's an educated black man.
Yeah.
Because
he speaks particularly.
Not to be rude, but most of the black people live in a certain part of town, and I don't think they want to see them brought up in any way. They're really racist.
It's very oppressive in that town. And so the city attorney asked us, why would you come here? We said it's a beautiful city with a lot of opportunity and people need help and we can help. And he goes, well, these people are trash and they're all drug addicts and this and that. Their goal is to get every person that has a house there that they don't like, and they're going to fine them to death and then take their property and then sell it to somebody else.
Well, I think that's actually funny too. In the mindset there that's being shown is because why would you want to help these people? Well, clearly these people need help.
Exactly.
Everybody else.
Nobody cares. Everybody's just walking over people. This old lady was 78 years old, Cam. I drove by and she was pushing a lawnmower, barely can move it. I jumped out of my truck. I said, I'll do it. And then they're tripping out. Don't help this lady. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whoa, why not? Like, she can't even mow her own grass and she's on a fixed income, but you want to take her house?
Yeah. And there was another older gentleman that has a property next to one of the ones that I own, and his grass was sky high. And I thought they're going to fine him. So I went and knocked on his door, and they were mowing the grass in my lot.
For him.
And I said, hey, and he's like, why would you do that?
And they stole our tools, our lawnmower. They stole everything.
Yeah.
What do you mean they stole it? What do you mean? Who stole it?
So we had the property that
I would say that the city didn't personally steal it, but they are kind of the reason why our things got taken, because they pretty much chased us out of town.
Like the Klan.
Yeah. And they wouldn't turn the utilities on, and all of our stuff was secured in this home. Well, if we can't be there because we're in fear of being arrested by these people, everything's gone. Homeless people went in and took their stuff.
Thousands of dollars of tools.
If I may, I hear from a bird that the federal government is looking for corrupt officials. And it sounds like you have receipts. Have you tried filing charges in federal?
I don't know who to talk to or how to do that. So if you would like to help, I would so appreciate it.
You're talking to Wisedome.
Okay, because it's not like I haven't tried. I just haven't been successful.
I want to take one of their properties and I want to donate it.
Damn, hit him with the mastermind.
Yeah.
Oh no, we've been working. So when y'all get to the point of the meeting and everything, what is is there any progress as far as the communication with them, or are they just at a certain point they're just like, we're done working with you and we're gonna okay.
And if we don't stop, they're gonna take us lives, and then 6, 7, 8 months later, here we are now with them trying to take our lives.
The meeting, if I would have known what I know now, I would have just got up and walked out
Yep.
because it was a mob
It was a attack.
lynching. It was not a true business meeting. But
Yeah, it was
the
rude.
people within the city development department, they were fine with us at the end of the meeting. They started out really mean and anyway, but they were fine by the end of it. And we were actually having private conversations and they're like, oh
They
no,
shook
you
my
don't want to
hand.
work with the city. Yeah.
Yep.
The detective and us were fine.
Yep.
It was Stephanie Austin and Shane Allen, which was the attorney, that he literally said, well, we're going to send this to the DA like they were friends, like he knew him, and that they're going to find charges against
He
us.
said, I'm sure we can find something to charge them.
Yeah, but everybody else in the meeting was fine with us. It was just those particular two. I don't know what their beef was. I don't know. Don't care.
What was the problem? What was essentially the problem?
That you tell me. I don't know.
I think that they're concerned that some outsiders are coming to revitalize and rejuvenate their city when it's their city.
I don't know. Something that's coming across my mind is there was a lien on one of the homes, correct? And it was in the process, or possibly had been started, that they were trying to sell the home. Is that correct?
No, it wasn't yet. If we wouldn't have paid the taxes on that particular house, it's still behind. It would have gone to the county this year, and they would have sold it because it would have been 4 years behind.
Oh wow!
So we saved their home, and they're trying to take us to jail for it,
and nobody seems to care.
And we never met none of these people.
I think what it is that they just have hate in their hearts and they don't understand how to do goodwill.
And if you look up Holly Thompson and Jonathan Clay, and I want to help these people. They've been in and out of mental rehabs and drug facilities, and they don't have jobs, no education, and they really truly need help.
Okay, so hold on. Let's do this. So the home that has a lien on it, the owner has passed away.
Correct.
And all of the taxes were paid. Is there someone who owns the home?
No, it's in probate right now because she died intestate or died without a will.
We asked to see who's the true heir because Jonathan Clay has a restraining order, so he can't be involved in the proceedings. They got really angry with us because they are saying that this person is the lady's daughter that died, but we don't think she is. She's just doing it because Jonathan Clay cannot.
Okay, wait. So there's a possibility that they're utilizing someone
who's not a true heir.
Who's not a true heir. Okay, well let's assume that she was the true heir. She didn't have enough money to pay the back taxes, correct?
No.
And so now that there's a lien on said property, the issue arises of, well, how are we going to get rid of this lien other than having to pay?
Correct.
And so there, I would possibly see an issue arising of it was civilly now, to where we got to get rid of these people in some form or fashion so that we don't have to pay them. Okay.
Right, which they tried.
Okay, and
Which
how did they try?
Okay, so the property's in probate. They went and opened a civil suit for a quiet title. I'm sorry, but that's not legal. You can't do that
when you're in probate.
So I filed in that case, to let them know that these are the circumstances and that you cannot wipe out the lien, et cetera, et cetera. And then in the meantime, I filed foreclosure paperwork on them to try and protect our investment on it. And then things just,
Then that's when they escalated. And so they set us up. So we didn't know that there was a charge or anything. And the judge is like, no, we want you here. We need you to be here present.
I
go,
tried
that's weird.
to appear
by Zoom
or telephonically. They don't have Zoom because they're a small county, but telephonically, and they refused. So I hired an attorney to show up for me because I didn't want to get it dismissed for not appearing. Yeah. And that attorney came back to me and said, "Did you know you have a warrant?" And I'm like, "What?" And I believe that the reason they were denying me from showing up telephonically, because I live halfway across the country, is because they wanted me to show up and arrest me.
Kidnapped us.
Yeah.
Yep. And the judge is in on it because he obviously knew, because he's the same judge as the case on everything. It's the same judge.
What's the population like over there?
Like 23,000.
20,000, 25,000.
Yeah.
Look it up. It's a beautiful city.
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, guys. Homes are cheap too.
The people are there because they're so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What else should we be aware of at this point?
Just that Charlie Warner's the reason this happened. If this wouldn't have happened, we'd be in Ponca City developing, being happy.
I think we need to be aware that we have charges against us, that they made this civil suit into something criminal, and it never ever should have been. They have no proof. It's just going on hearsay. And that regarding the other home, this poor woman's home is in foreclosure. She is about to lose her home because of the city. Because they harassed her and scared her and she ran away. And then we tried to help. And then they literally have pushed us out. And since June, they've refused to turn the
And guess what, guys? We actually paid somebody to mow the grass. We're still paying people to mow, right?
Exactly.
And they're sending fines to her saying that the grass is not cut. And we have before and after pictures of every time.
And they're also fining me on my own personal property, saying that the grass hasn't been cut. And I have photos of when we were there and the dates. And also I have a landscaper that's taking care of it now. And they're still trying to find me. And I've called them. We spoke. The guy was really rude to me. And then he said he'd get back to me. And then they just ignored me.
So when you speak of a civil suit, what civil suit did you bring forth?
Against the city.
Against the city, I brought forth a TRO.
Obstruction.
Yeah. An emergency filing for them to turn on the power because the home was deteriorating. Homeless people were going to get back in it. Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous. So I brought a suit against the city because they were refusing to allow us to have the power on.
And then that's when the threats got extra.
What happened with that civil suit?
It got dismissed.
They dismissed it.
Did anything happen before it was dismissed?
Yes, the city attorney put in his stupid response and I responded back and refuted everything that he said. And he looked like an idiot because he was quoting laws that didn't apply to what it was. And I, called him out on it. And then next thing you know, our thing was dismissed, even though I put in motions. They completely ignored me after that point. And then when he dismissed it, I put in a motion to reopen the case and they sent it back to me and said I had to pay to submit it. I'm like, I paid originally.
The city's just been taking our money and it's not even really our money. I mean, I work for myself and do other things, but I donate everything because I'm just here to serve. I started this 10 years ago. This is what I do for my life. Yeah. Just like what you do, Cam, I do what I do.
Well, I donated. They took my money.
Okay. Let me see. What else should we mention at this point, I think?
I'm thinking.
I just want to
Does
say.
Does anybody have any questions at this point? Like I know people
want to say thanks for both your sacrifice. You guys have made a incredible commitment to the community.
You know what? Thank you. And the lady's house that we've been working on, we have text messages and emails and stuff from her. And she said that she was so distraught and that we were a godsend to show up and help her because she had no idea what to do about this situation. Well, and I'm kind of at that point right now too. I'm like, but we'll figure it out.
We will.
I've been watching this unfold for several years of working in the addiction field, and with our clients that we've worked with. And it's, it's an epidemic across the country, and it's basically just securities fraud in these cities and counties taking advantage of whatever they can do to suck up these properties, and then they don't do anything with them. So they're just taking the paper and selling the paper to somebody. And we, where's this money going? Because
you are 100% right.
It does not come back to the county to pay for anything in the public infrastructure, because all the public infrastructure is paid for by the U.S. government through their budgeting process. So they collect this money, it gets given to the U.S. government as gifts. United States government is a gift because they're the federal corporation that controls all the counties and cities, and they pay for them all.
Yeah. And actually, you know what? I have two more things to say. The one home for the lady that we're helping is in a historic district. And we found out through somebody who worked, and I can't 100% verify this, but somebody who worked with the city, and basically if a home is condemned, they get extra money.
They get extra money
from the federal government, especially if it's in a historic district. And this happens to be.
Yeah, I can see that. There's a lot of houses around my little town like that are no one in, you know.
One other thing that I have to say is that there was this lady that was helping us, and she was very sweet. I really appreciate her help. She looked after things while we were gone, kept people in order for us. Well, she ran into some hard times herself. Her utilities got shut off. Well, they know her down at the utility company because she was in there trying to take care of it while we were off doing business in other states. Her utilities got shut off. She's lived in her house for 12 years. They refused to turn her utilities back on. And they said she needs to prove that she's the owner of the home. And she's like, I've paid you utilities for 12 years. So I don't know if it's because she knows us, but I kind of have a feeling that because she was associated with us, they're doing the same thing.
And now they're selling her house on Tuesday on the sheriff's sale.
Her house is in foreclosure, and on the 23rd, it goes into sheriff's sale.
But I definitely want to say thank you for everybody.
We need to get to a point where the people are not paying for public utilities that they've already bought. And taxes for land that they've already bought. Those are the taxes, and the utilities are for the corporations that use those things that the people paid for and built. There's no world where the people should be paying for the use of infrastructure that they built for the corporations and the debt.
And the city should be helping and advocating for their people, not against them.
Exactly.
And they're despicable.
Yep, it's all about the money and control, and and a lot of them have been manipulated too. Because I have worked with, I worked for 20 years for city and county governments in the IT business, building IT infrastructure for 12 cities across 3 different counties. So I work closely with all these people, and I know their budgeting cycles, and I know how they're, and I know they're just people too that have been manipulated like the rest of us.
They are
job because they keep them siloed in their little worlds. And, and that's,
I mean, the one gentleman that we worked with in the city, his name was Corey. He was great, but he literally said, I can't talk to you anymore. And I'm sure they probably threatened him,
I'm working with tribal governments and right now on some lawsuits, and I get the same thing. They won't talk to me either. No one
Yeah, go ahead, y'all.
There's this Christine Robinson's been messaging me, and she's want to ask some questions. She's supposed to be forensic science. So, Christina, if you want to come on, just want to let you know, Cam.
You said Christine Robinson?
Yeah, she's been messaging me and wanting to know a couple of things. So I'm kind of calling her out.
Hey, y'all remember, this is Operation Wisedome. Y'all are free to ask any questions that y'all want.
I didn't want to chime in, but Chris was asking me to chime in. So I was just saying, as a former friend, and I'm actively involved with the Hope Foundation, but as a forensic scientist, so you have to have a trail. So if Janette has all the paperwork in order and she has all the trail, they have no business questioning her on being a notary. They have no business questioning on property, because they can have forensic scientists, and they call them QDEs. So it's a question document examiner, and he or she would go through to make sure that the paperwork is legit. So unless that has taken place, there's no reason to have any court proceeding whatsoever.
That's true. Thank you.
So I just want to make sure that that's, because you have to stick to the facts. There's a lot of things that have happened, and there's a lot of, the crossing the states and different things that have happened. But unless there's an actual fact, unless there's the warrants, unless there's question document examiners, and in this case, obviously fingerprints they're not even relevant because there's no crime. But those types of things need to be brought to light and continue to be brought to light, especially on conversations, because there is no evidence. You're a legit notary. There should be no question about you being that. So I don't know. Did you want me to talk about anything else, Chris, or what did you want me to?
Just whatever you're curious about.
Okay.
I
didn't want to speak up.
Don't hold back. Yeah, don't hold back, please.
So when they were stopped in Arizona, there were no warrants for any of their stuff. There was a canine/drug sniffing dog, which again, you have to have a forensic scientist on site if you are going to accuse somebody of drugs or do a false hit, is what they call it. So it's a false hit with a dog hitting on anything. You have to have an actual scientist on site to be able to test that product. You can't just arbitrarily have an officer of any sort, federal, state, local, city cop, sheriff. You can't have any of them arbitrarily state that the substance is cocaine because it's white. Do you see what I'm saying? It'd be like saying, oh, this piece of jewelry is silver because it's the color of silver. They're not tested. So it's very important when if anybody in this forum, has those issues, you have to stick to the facts. They cannot arbitrarily say something. The dog cannot talk, even though they're trained. It has to still be, it's a presumptive test is what it's called. So the presumptive test has to be done by a scientist. It's the same thing with this paperwork. Janette has her paperwork in order. There's nothing that should be in question. She's a legitimate notary. They're a legitimate company. They're a 501. There's nothing that should be in question. So when you start getting, off topic and go down the rabbit hole of their desires, there's nothing that should be even holding up in court. Because there's no facts. There's no facts. But anyway, I just didn't want to take over Chris but if you wanted me to talk.
But then we got the issue that it always ends up in court in front of a administrative law clerk in a black dress that is playing along with the prosecutors and they're all three in this triangle together in these little court cases until you get up to federal districts.
We sent the information to the district attorney and talked to her. I mean, not talk to her, we left messages, but she refuses to contact us back. And it's just like, if you know that something is false and we give you the information to show you that it's false and you're still trying to get us, what does that mean?
All right.
That means she's corrupt too.
So that's where I'm at. I'm just trying to get us free so we can do what we do, save these people's homes and get these people's off our back.
Yeah.
Well, it all comes back to the judges and the attorneys in the end of the day, because they're the ones that know exactly what's going on. They're the bankers. Judges are bankers. Bankers are judges. And that's where it all comes to. And it's securities fraud.
Yep. And our bail is like twice as higher than this guy. I don't want to put people's business out there, but this guy got accused of raping someone. His bail was only $10,000 and he got out. One guy got convicted for murder and they deferred his sentence for 33 years and gave him 180 days of community service. But they're trying to give me 20 years to life. And I don't even know who these people are.
Yeah, it's crazy. Our bail is not proportionate to what other people's are.
It was just a way to stick it to us.
Punishment,
and that man really meant what he said. Detective Charlie Warner and his minions, he really meant what he said, that he was going to ruin our life. And we've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not in the million.
And so when it comes down to it, y'all sent over a lot of voicemails and stuff. Any particular voicemails that y'all want to bring attention to as far as the situation is concerned?
Oh, I don't know if I want to bring any of them. I know there's the one,
or just any recordings, I guess.
He had called and the city attorney starts calling him boy.
Yeah,
boy. That was disrespectful as all get out.
Well, there's the one that he talked to you and he threatened you. He said, "You're the only one that's not going nowhere, Janette."
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. And we have the recording of the meeting. If you guys want to hear the whole meeting, I don't know how we can do it, but you guys should just actually listen to the meeting.
Yeah, it's long, so you would have to do it on your own.
Yeah, but
there's also the one with the detective after the
after all this is done.
After I went to the city utilities and I had called the detective because I'm trying to do my part and not, evade anybody. And I don't know.
Yeah. That's it. We just want to say thank you guys and thank everybody. Here's the deal. Delete Laws, BZ, Watchdog, Otto. We want to thank the senator, what was her name, in Arizona that did some calls for us?
Annalise,
the senator. We want to say thank you to her. Want to say thank you to Christine for doing all her hard work and making calls and getting the chief and different people to bring light to this in Arizona. But we got to stop Charlie Warner.
That, and we need to figure out how, if anybody has any ideas, suggestions, or solutions, get Ponca City off of our butt and to. Okay, so here's something else. Ponca City, they the FOIA requests, they wouldn't give us the information. They still have refused to give us the information. The city attorney is so dumb And if
Dealing
he's out
with
there
that with the
listening,
tribe, I can't get any information from the FOIA, and now I've gone all the way to the
Yeah.
federal government trying to get them to give me anything. They won't talk to me. They won't give me nothing. They just ignore all my
exactly.
requests.
Well,
Yeah,
the city attorney copied us on his inner
yeah.
office messages. So we're like, wow, you're really dumb. But
Yeah.
anyway, oh gosh, I forgot my train of thought.
being blocked by FOIAs by the city that you're trying to get the information from.
Yeah.
But that's all criminal. We got to go.
Yeah,
on
he
the
threatened us because we wanted the calls for the call logs for the to the house, because I mean cops are coming all the time, and they said the city attorney called us and told us come here. So we were trying to get all the information to show that this man is outside the scope of his duties, trying to ruin our lives. And they said, you keep pushing, boy, you keep wagging the tail of the dog, boy, and which we have the recording of.
These FOIAs are the key to getting these guys held accountable. And then once you have the FOIAs, then you need to charge them.
Well, what I'm seeing right here is
and
within
if they're
this.
not giving you the information, it means what you're accusing of, they are guilty of.
Well, what I'm seeing,
that's what I'm saying,
and that's the angle I'm taking it at as a criminal defense against the tribe. I'm charging them, and I'm going all the way to. I just sent my stuff off to the District of Oregon's
conspiracy
person, man, so we can get that through Medicaid fraud, because I got them on a bunch of Medicaid fraud, and they're freaking discrimination and all other kinds of stuff, and they won't give up any of their emails and or their investigation against me and why they fired me or anything.
Well, what I'm seeing here in this FOIA open records request from the Ponca City is that both properties at the 1420 South 8th Street and the 400 North Oak Street are directly related to open civil cases in Kay County District Court, which correlate with pending criminal charges and an ongoing investigation at this time. It looks as though this is an ongoing investigation that the city attorney is directly involved in. What is going on in relation to why the city attorney is directly involved?
That's what we're trying to figure out. He has no place to be involved in this at all. Nobody's talked to him. Nobody's fired him.
So we came across Stephanie Austin, the city commissioner, pretending to be a subordinate. We found out that her company, Cat 5, when they take these people homes, Cat 5 gets the contract. And then when we found out and we asked her about it, guess what? Cat 5 is no longer in business. And now there's a new business. You see how that works? So they got scared. And they're like, deal with these people, get rid of them, because we messed up their money.
Yeah, that is true, because I was researching Cat 5 online, and then we went to the city meeting, and then 2 days later they had made the company inactive and went under something else, because they know that they're
they got caught, and we didn't know. We were not trying to get in the way of their scheme.
I don't care what they're doing.
Yeah, it's none of our business.
But the thing I was going to say is that Ponca City's already been sued in 2024 for not being transparent and releasing
information,
police records. So this is really important. I think it's important anyway. Yeah. You guys can tell me what you think. So they got sued for not releasing the police reports, and Oklahoma Watch sued them and they won the case. Now, also, they've been investigated by the FBI as well for city corruption. Those people got fired, and now there's new people in, and they're just as corrupt as the last one. So this is nothing new in Ponca City. Yeah. But here's my thing. Ponca City won't give up the FOIA requests to us. They won't give it to a reporter that we're working with. Other people are having problems getting it. But they had no problem giving our pictures, our names, and our information to the news to put them on there.
They had no problem giving them our personal information that they weren't supposed to have, that they got from Charlie Warner.
So how is that right? That they won't give up the information that we're requesting, but they have no problem putting my picture online. I have a protective order against me, and they blasted me out there.
And my name is the trademark of Batman. It's an assumed business name. So to me, I don't really care. They can use that all they want to. But it made me lose my thought, because I wanted to say something about forget it.
It's okay. I know. Well, let's go over the probable cause affidavit here and see just what their theory is as far as their story is concerned. So y'all have been charged with count 1 and count 2. One is a conspiracy. The second is a burglary in the second degree. What and where is the burglary in the second degree coming from?
I don't know. I never stole nothing. I never burglarized. If me paying taxes, if the whole foundation fund comes in and pays taxes, if that's burglary, then I'm sorry.
So they're labeling it as count one, conspiracy of felony on or about the 29th day of August by conspiring and agreeing with Trayton to commit a crime of burglary in the second degree, a felony. And said defendant Trayton did enter the property located at in furtherance of the conspiracy. So we've already gone through the aspects that you've reached out to the city. It was on the abandoned list. You've pulled permits. You at one point had power at the home. A lot of these things were all in the workings. So it was open and clear that you were looking, and Hope Foundation was looking to establish and rehabilitate the home, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. So we have witnesses.
These are all
I've never met none of these people. Most of them are cops, city workers. And the lady that they have on here as a witness, she's actually for us. What's her name? Janette. Yeah, Janette Rochelle Martin. They got her information out there and they ran her out of town and they were using her as a witness.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
So let's see. They got affidavit here. They're saying Destiny Bates had approximately 1641 hours on 8/29/25. Dispatch transfer a call in reference to squatters stealing items from 1420. Spoke with Holly Thompson over the phone, who gave me the following statement. Holly Thompson. My mother, Tammy McKinley, owned 1420 South 8th. When she died, the house went to me. The house has been in a trust. My brother. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's a lie. It's not true.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing she says is truth. But go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
No problem. So in this probable cause affidavit, they're stating that it was put in a trust, but there's no trust information.
There's no trust.
And Jonathan Clay has a restraining order. He should never have been at the residence.
Okay.
If he was.
Nice. So my brother Jonathan Clay went, and how long had that been in place? Do you know?
It's been a few years.
Yeah.
Like he has a lot of charges of beating his mom, and he just got arrested for beating his girl.
Okay, so the brother Jonathan Clay going over to the residence at this point in time would have been a violation, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
But they don't care.
So when he was there, some things were missing out of the house. The water heater, stove, mattress, and dresser are no longer in the house. One of the neighbors told Jonathan Eric Miller and his wife had been staying at the house. No one is supposed to be in that house. No papers have been signed. We still own the house. So one of the neighbors told Jonathan Eric Miller and his wife have been staying in the house. Are y'all affiliated with him? Do you know them?
No, I've never heard these people, and they probably stole it then.
To say Eric Miller didn't steal a stove.
If it was stolen.
That's just ridiculous.
That's crazy. That's weird. Yeah. So I went to 1420 to speak with Jonathan. Jonathan gave me the following statement. The neighbor, Jonathan Clay, the neighbor to the north of this address is the one who told me about Eric Miller and his wife staying in the house. No one is supposed to be there in the house. I'm changing the locks right now for 1420. I went and spoke.
No, listen, Cam, not to stop you. You see how she said I'm changing the locks?
Please. Yeah.
Look, she says I'm changing the locks, right?
Jonathan Clay's changing them.
Oh, Jonathan Clay? Okay, I was about to say, because we got a recording of Holly Thompson saying she hasn't been in the house since her mom died, and her mom died in 2023.
Yeah, so it seems as though Jonathan Clay, the neighbor to the north of this address, is the one who told me about Eric Miller and his wife staying in the house. No one is supposed to be here at this house. I am changing the locks right now. I went and spoke with the residents of the 15 South 8th, Richard Gregg, who gave me the following statement. Richard Gregg. The guy came over here and introduced himself as Earl Marvey. Earl said he bought the house at 1420. Then him and his wife were fixing up the house. Earl gave me a business card. I have it in the house. I only talked to him one time. I try to stay to myself. Richard provided the business card to me. I photographed the card using Axon Capture. The business card showed the logo as Fanfare LLC. The name on the card was Earl Marvey, private trust attorney. There was a phone number provided on the card. I attempted to contact the phone number. It went to voicemail. I contacted Holly Thompson. Who's Holly?
That's the girl that's saying that that's her house.
Yeah,
Okay.
the daughter.
But she's not even a daughter. They have different names. It's weird.
To let her know what both neighbors had informed me, Holly gave the following statement. Holly Thompson, the back taxes were paid by someone. Okay. My attorney said, My attorney said it was probably a scam. No, probably someone truly did pay it. No papers have been signed. We still own the house. My attorney will know more and can explain it better. My attorney office is Todd Burley, attorney at law in Ponca City. Has anybody ever spoke with Todd Burley?
Yes, he's a very nasty individual. He has bad records with his own peers. They say that he's salacious and someone that will do anything to win. And you can look him up and you'll see. He'll actually take favors if you take to, be your attorney.
Wow. On
Yeah, we're
9/5.
trying to figure out.
Go ahead.
Well, this particular individual, Jonathan Clay, he is his attorney as well. He's done some really bad stuff and he gets off every single time.
It just
I'm
disappeared.
trying to figure out how that goes. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
No, you're good. So September the 5th at approximately 16:54 hours, I contacted Todd, Holly Thompson's attorney, who gave me the following statement. Todd Burley, the Hope Foundation had sent me paperwork today. Oh, nice. So communication. They have placed a lien on the house. Now we are trying to get the lien removed so we can sell. I told them I wanted to speak with their attorney. I have not heard back from them since. So clearly there's communication between you, yourselves, and the attorney.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Detective Sergeant Corey Vincent, I am currently assigned to the Detective Division in Ponca City Police Department. 9/5, I was advised by Detective Captain Jeffries of a possible fraud where a group claiming to be the Hope Foundation were putting liens against vacant residences in Ponca City. Well, let's figure this out. Putting liens against vacant residences or paying the taxes and then putting a lien based on the taxes being paid.
They're skipping.
Yeah. Again, that would be to the point of where they're, again, not including or omitting exculpatory evidence.
Yep.
That's
Omission.
a big deal. Oh, the omission and omitting of exculpatory evidence is huge because what you're saying is we're going to bring in this information that moves in our favor, but not exculpatory information that moves actually in the Hope Foundation's favor.
Okay.
That's totally wrong, bro.
Okay.
I contacted Corey Pruitt with Ponca City Code Enforcement, and she arranged a meeting with him, the Director of Development of Ponca City, Christopher Henderson, and City Attorney Vance Shane Allen. Now, is Christopher Henderson good in this, or is that a bad player?
Yeah, he started out awful, but at the end, he was on our side.
I had to stand up in the meeting.
He was nice.
And I told them to stop talking to her like that because he was coming across
Oh, no,
the
that
table.
was Corey.
Oh, it's a different Corey. But
That
he
was
was coming
Corey.
across the table talking to her. You're a scammer. I said, don't you speak to her like that. And then it kind of settled down a little bit.
So Christopher Henderson stated, I was notified by the security title company yesterday that one company out of Arizona was filing liens against several properties in Ponca City. Come to find out, code enforcement had received letters from the company. Come to find out, code enforcement had received letters from the company.
Yeah.
Interesting. The Hope Foundation basically saying the city no longer needs to do anything because they have acquired ownership of the property and filed liens for the work they are doing. We started getting letters in the summer of 2025, but nobody really paid attention to any of them until the title company contacted us. Well, that's not really that's not your fault that nobody paid attention to those.
Exactly. And we never acquired ownership.
Wait, say that again.
They have acquired ownership permission.
Yeah, exactly. They omitting words.
There you go.
Omitting words.
You went and filed a permit. Clearly, you got permission in some form or fashion, right? Again, we started getting letters in the summer of 2025, but nobody really paid any attention to them until the title company contacted us. That's not y'all's fault.
Exactly.
That's not y'all's fault. A woman from New Hope came in, and when I was questioning her, she said she wasn't with him. I told her we were investigating what they were doing because she can't file liens on properties they don't own. We have to go through a very okay.
Why would you put a property on that you own? Other people do. That's why it's called a lien. But anyway.
Exactly. We have to go through a very rigid legal process, and they are not doing that at all. I later received an email from the Hope Foundation quoting laws and stating they have a right to the property. During the meeting, Corey Pruitt stated, I issued a permit to Janette Oliver. On the permit said she was with Cat 5 Realty. Cat 5 Realty belongs to Bobby Garrett. I spoke with Bobby Garrett's assistant, Stephanie, who says she does not know Janette Oliver and that they have no right to be on the property. Bobby,
Wait,
go ahead.
Stephanie is not an assistant. She's a city commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretending that she's assistant. And the detective knows that because he was in a meeting with us.
Yeah.
Well, who's Bobby Garrett?
He's just
a rich man in the town
and owns a lot of property in the town.
Yeah.
And him and Stephanie are part of Cat 5, but now Cat 5 has been made inactive. And what happened with this is that the secretary for the development department, she was like, oh yeah, someone was in here asking me about this property last week and they were Cat 5. So I think when she did my permit, she made a mistake and put Cat 5 on there.
I even asked.
Well, I didn't know that Cat 5 was a company. I thought it was like a code because I said
Category 5.
Yeah, I said,
That's not a network.
why does this say Cat 5? Shouldn't it say Hope Foundation?
She said, don't worry about it.
And she's like, oh no, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. So now they're trying to accuse me of fraud, and I didn't do that.
Yeah,
so anyway,
never even heard of it.
Where's the conspiracy and fraud at here?
Facts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stephanie, who says she does not know Janette Oliver and that they have no right to be on the property, even though they gave a permit. Bobby Garrett does not own the property at 400 North Oak Street where the permit was issued. The owner of that house is Janae Martin, and we have been unable to get a hold of her.
Lies.
Which is not my problem.
Well, maybe at this point in time, maybe though, at this point in time they haven't been. The address they have sent notices on are 400, 505, 1420, and 508 North Ash Street. Bobby Garrett owns 508 North Ash and 505 North Oak Street. The common denominator is they are all on the city of Ponca City's abandoned house list.
Boom. How does he own something if it's abandoned, right? It's deemed abandoned.
Now this is very interesting because it goes even into the adverse possession laws. Something's abandoned, it's not being taken care of. If I'm not mistaken, one can move into the property, or even start to restore the property because it is abandoned in and of itself. I'm not a professional on that, but from my research, that seems to be what's legit here. So the list is not
9/10 of the law, they say.
Yeah, possession is 9/10 of the law. That's correct. The list is not public record, but we do put notices on the house, and the letter we received makes it sound like they just saw the notice and choosing these. They are not working for the city or the homeowner. They are going in and doing work on these houses and filing egregious liens. Egregious liens, I'm not very sure of, but if someone's going to do work on a house that's abandoned and then filing a lien, they're letting them know, hey, I've done all this work. I need to get paid for this work that I've done to maintain.
It's like a mechanic at a mechanic shop.
Yeah.
If you take your car to the shop, Cam, and you don't pay them, what are they going to do?
Yeah, just like if you get a contractor to come and do work on your home, you put a deposit down, then you don't finish paying, what's going to happen? They're going to put a lien, right? So they have a lien on the house at 400 North Oak for $17,000 for cleanup. So far, they have only pulled one permit for the 400 North Oak. They paid off the fine to get it taken off of the abandoned house list. Okay, so clearly you're going by the process. When you're on the abandoned house list, there's a monthly fee. When you pay the fine and pull the permit, it gives you 6 months to fix the house. Well, there they are admitting in their own affidavit that you have permission to fix the house.
Yeah.
Okay, so we shut down the power off to 400 North because the permit they issued was fraudulent. Since they said they were with Cat 5, they have been actually doing work on the house. They have been actually doing work on the house. Other code enforcement officers have seen them at 400 North Oak cleaning the place up. Wow.
And really quickly, Chris Henderson, he at the end of the meeting was saying that for the work we were doing, because we're not actually doing building, we didn't even have to have a permit.
Yep. He said, because we're not doing any kind of like building construction.
Right. And the Cat 5 thing was worked out because,
well, the business
that was a mistake on
Cat
their
5
side.
don't even exist anymore. So,
well, yeah, but that wasn't our fault.
So I spoke with Nicole Martin, who works for billing at City Hall. Nicole stated Janette Oliver came in and paid a notice of cost on a property. The property 721. She stated is on behalf of RT1 Investment. It was for abatement. For mowing and cleaning. The city did for 204. RT1
paid it off.
6 properties at the tax sale last month. The Hope Foundation sent 6 notices to the county to take possession affidavits and another notice. Okay, so again, going in with proper notice, affidavits, possession aspects, all trying to do this the proper way. I spoke with
Very transparent.
Go ahead, sorry.
Very transparent.
Yeah, very transparent. So then I spoke with Kylie Newman, who is the utility billing manager. Kylie stated, we turned on temporary power at 400 North. Janet Oliver came in with a city building permit and requested temporary power, which lasted for 90 days. They have to sign the residential agreement and bring in the city building permit. My employee is supposed to verify they own the address, but she did not. Now, this one is kind of odd to me because I have power turned on where I'm at and I don't own it.
Exactly. That's just this lady, Kylie, she's nasty. A human being. She's gross. I know the law. The city attorney said I can do whatever I want. That's how she speaks and treats people.
Kind of mean.
I don't even think I turned in anything to my power company to get it turned on. I just said, hey, I'm living here, and
it's none of their business.
Yeah, you don't even have to deal with it. Yeah, power. You usually deal with the power company, not the city on power.
Yeah, and I don't ever have to prove ownership or even
the water is the only thing the cities deal with.
Yeah, and I don't even think I provided a lease to get my power turned on here or anything like that. You just call them. Who here has ever had to provide any detailed information to get their power or water turned on? Anybody?
We did in Heber.
Yeah, one time. But out of the hundreds of homes we've we've never had that. So
yeah, that's kind of odd. Okay, so then, so we turned on the power. They requested an extension on the power, which we cannot do. With temporary power, we do not make them pay a deposit, but to extend it, we have to have a deposit to fill out the proper paperwork. When they heard this, they decided not to extend the power. So I sent an email out to PD officers to put the residences down for an extra patrol and to contact me if anyone is located on the property. Why? For what reasoning?
Because they wanted to harm us.
I just don't understand because of power not being turned on, why they put out an email for officers to watch the residences.
I think it all goes back to Charlie Warner, but yeah.
You guys requested that. Did they send out that they put out a message telling them to watch the residents when you asked them to watch the residents?
I don't know. We asked them to, and they said they would, and then they used the same information to harass us. Because I was out there with my little vest on, cleaning and chopping trees,
So on Saturday, I received a phone call from Patrol Hubler, who was in with Marve. He said he had located some people working on the residence. I spoke to one of the people over the phone who identified herself as Janette Oliver. I told her the house she was at was not abandoned. What do they mean? Just uninhabitable, and she needed permission from the property owner to be there. What do they mean by that? Was it or was it not on the abandoned list?
Technically, they say it's abandoned, but technically not.
What they told me is, this is what they said to me. The word abandoned doesn't really mean abandoned. And I said, well, can you explain that to me? And they really couldn't.
No.
Yeah.
The law is the law, and those terms are defined somewhere.
Yeah.
Nat said she believes it was just a giant misunderstanding. She agreed to meet with me at City Hall. She told me she was not comfortable giving the officers on scene her personal information. At the time, I was unsure if I had a crime or not, so I told her it was her choice to not give them her information. Okay. So then on 9/8, we all met at City Hall. In attendance, other than myself, was Janette of Hope Foundation, Earl Marvey of Hope Foundation, Corey Pruitt of Code Enforcement, the Director of Development for Ponca City, Christopher Henderson, and the City Attorney Vance Shane Allen. Bobby Garrett, who owns 2 of the residences with liens placed on them, and his assistant, Stephanie Austin. So
See how they keep saying it?
His assistant, Stephanie Austin, is also whom?
The commissioner.
She's the city
She's
commissioner.
not assistant. She's running this, but acting like I'm just nobody.
So during the meeting, Janette, so she's actually city commissioner, but also has some kind of affiliation with Bobby Garrett.
Yep.
And it would seem as though there might be some conspiracy in relation to
Yeah.
insider information to make some certain moves to enrich Bobby Garrett, correct?
Yep. Yep.
That's
Yes.
really Bobby Garrett's inside person.
That's his Garrett.
Yeah.
Interesting. So during the meeting, Janet Oliver stated, I'm from Arizona, but originally from Oregon. When I met with officers on Saturday, they were asking about another company we have nothing to do with. I'm guessing that's the Cat 5.
No, it was like something like ABC, and because I got this little bit of information from them. They said, "Oh, we thought maybe you were with blah blah company."
We're like, nah.
I said, "I don't know what that is. Why? What's going on?" And they said, "Well, they're going around putting liens on homes and then doing quiet
titles or something."
Yeah, filing for quiet titles."
We've
And I
never
said,
done
"Well, that's not us. We do everything above board and legally." So they were lumping us in with these people. And anyway, yeah.
Okay, so they said they were filing for quitclaim deeds or something. We have never taken a house we have worked on. That is not our intention at all. We are not trying to take anybody's property by any means. Well, if it's on the abandoned list, again, adverse possession is real. So, yeah,
Mhm.
clarifying that. We want to be friends and work with the city. We did not act on behalf of the city. We have sent letters to all the homeowners telling them their houses has been deemed abandoned by the city of Ponca, and to help preserve the home, the Hope Foundation has stepped in and began basic care, security, and maintenance on the property. This includes posting a formal notice of possession and property of care on the premises to inform the public. We want to emphasize we are not claiming ownership of the property at this time. Our actions are to protect the structure and to avoid further city intervention. If you, yeah, well, that right there is the problem, right?
They pissed them.
To
They pissed them
avoid
off.
further city intervention,
Yep.
right? If you are the legal owner and you would like to reclaim ownership of the property and collaborate, please contact us. We also notified the city as well. They were all sent certified mail. We sent it to the addresses on the county tax site records and the home addresses, as well as the development. We are claiming interest in 400 North Oak, and I came in and spoke with Ryan Trant, and he told me it was on the abandoned and to pay the abandoned lien. So who's Ryan Trant?
He's one of the city workers.
He was one of the city development guys. He was in the meeting briefly.
He was in the meeting briefly. He was so cool with us. He's like, I'm so glad somebody's working on this house and blah, blah, blah. And then at the meeting, he was like, oh, I can't talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So I was told to pull a permit and we would continue to work. There is a lien through the mortgage company, and I'm planning on speaking with them this week. He knew I was not the homeowner, and we did everything we were told to do. We never told anyone we were with Cap 5. There was a misunderstanding. We never said that. When you go on the K County website, it states that both 505 and 508 are on the city's Suites LLC as the owners of the residence. This was back in June. The notices were sent out in June. Once I spoke with Nicole Martin and I found out that they were the new owners on the property, we dropped interest and we are willing to release the liens against those properties. The other house we are interested in is 400 North Oak, and we thought we did everything we were supposed to. I have never talked to Corey on the phone about the 400 North Oak Street, and I don't know who said they were with Cat 5. It wasn't me. Nicole Martin told me someone had called claiming to be Cat 5 because I asked her specifically about the property. She asked if I was with Cat 5. That's the only time I heard about Cat 5. The house belonging to Tammy McKinley on the 1420 was about to go into default, and we paid the taxes on that house. It was dilapidated and in bad shape. The mailing came back as unaffordable. R2, I guess that's R2 Investment, is my personal company. I have nothing to do, they have nothing to do with this. 721 South 9th is through my own company and investment. I have done foreclosures, but it is through my personal company and it is not through tax deeds. Earl Marvey stated, the Hope Foundation is a private charitable organization that has been around for 10 years. I am just a worker. I do all the cleanup, and that is it. We have never taken the house we have worked on. We are just trying to restore it. The affidavit of ownership for the property is not declaring ownership. It is stating we are securing the property for the city. We believed we had authorization from the city when we pulled the permit. We never said we were with Cat 5. We sent out notices back in June showing our intent. We sent notices to the state for the 1420. The only thing we have done at 400 North Oak is clean up the property, and we thought we were working with the city. We filed liens against those houses for expenses. That is all. We came to Ponca City from a local realtor, Jerry Gorgetson. We thought the houses were abandoned because the city had declared them abandoned. The affidavit of possession and care taking as a notice that we are taking care of the property and that there are expenses involved. It's the same thing the city would do. It is claiming possession of the property, not ownership. I have a report on 400 North Oak. There were dead cats everywhere. Feces and electricity was shot. Jeez. We talked to the property owner and the city. Per the law, we thought we had the city's permission to work on the property. We would like to receive other permits from the city to do work. We have done this all over. This is the first time we have been in Oklahoma, however. I cut the grass on 508 and at 505. That is all I did. We just send the affidavit in possession to let the owners know we are working on the house. Then we contact the city to see if we are up to par, then move on. We are wanting to get paid back for the work through the lien. The banks are more than willing to cover it because the work we do ups the value of the home. We have never foreclosed on the lien. Jonathan Clay did call, but he did not leave a message. We called back, but he never returned our call. We talked to the neighbors and they said he was a drug dealer who was in jail for a couple of years. Who's Jonathan Clay? Oh, that's the brother?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the same guy.
Okay. So then the house had bullet holes in the window and anyone could get in. If they were the homeowners, why would they leave the house abandoned? It was explained to them that they need to have permission from the homeowners to do work on the property. Janette asked for the number of the homeowner and said she would try to contact her to get the issue resolved. I could not find any information on realtor Jerry Gorgensen in Ponca City. During the investigation, I received the following paperwork: a notice of claim of interest in real property on 8/30, a lien statement on 7/17, an amended affidavit of claim of lien on 8/22, a verified creditor's claim on 8/27, a certificate of mailing to Todd Burley from Janet Oliver, an affidavit of possession and caretaking on 8/30. Geez, a lot of documents. Notice of
Thank
lien,
you.
nuisance abatement, and code violation correction. Geez. 8/30, City of Ponca building residential permit, affidavit of authorized contractor, a letter from the Hope Foundation to Ryan Trant stating the notice of possession and property care was posted. Dang, bro. Contact
Yeah.
sheet for Janette from Ponca City Hall. Letter to code enforcement stating responsibility. Dang. Itemized statement of cost description for the work done. Oh my geez. Invoice for City of Ponca City Development Services. Okay. First off, if someone was doing something that was not up to par, why would all of these documents be sent? This is crazy, bro. Okay.
Exactly. Scammers go on the download.
George Bush does not like black people.
A certified mail receipt, notice of cost declaring property public nuisance, a notice of lien for nuisance abatement and code violation correction, notice of lien for nuisance abatement and code violation correction, notice of claim of interest in real property, a lien statement, summary from City Hall for permit, lien notice amendment, affidavit of possession and maintenance, scan letter from Hope Foundation to the City of Ponca, Ponca City Utility Authority residential service agreement signed by Janet, email to Christopher Henderson, missed paperwork showing ownership belonging to Bobby Garrett, letter from Hope Foundation Fund with stating their goals and intentions. Jeez. I tried to call the homeowner, Janae Martin, but was unable to make contact with her. I learned the suspects were back at the residence. Suspects now. Now you're suspects. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I sent Gray over to contact them and to issue them trespass warnings. Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, this is interesting here because are y'all soliciting a trespass?
Yes, they are. They tried. And I told them to get the hell out of here. Yeah.
Very interesting here. Okay.
Yeah.
However,
I mean,
called
how
Janette.
can they trespass us? The owner didn't call.
Yeah.
Well,
they're
watch
not the
this.
owner.
The next sentence is amazing. So Gray, I told Gray to go over to contact them to issue trespass warnings. However, they called Janae over the phone and she told Gray they had permission to be there. Damn.
And he told them, leave these people alone.
Damn.
Trying to help people, my brothers and sisters.
So 9/10, I made contact with Holly Thompson. Holly stated, nobody from the Hope Foundation has tried to call me. They have contacted my attorney, Todd Burley. Well, probably because y'all never had information to even try to call her, but you did contact.
He said earlier in the thing he had her. He couldn't find her information, but now he made contact with her.
Right. They have contacted my attorney, Todd Burley. They broke into the house. Okay, so let's look at this logically here. They broke into the house. So bullet holes all into the windows. It's all dilapidated. There's all kinds of dead cats and feet. Oh, this is wild. Okay, they took a dishwasher, a hot water tank that it says, okay, so it says they broke into the house. They took a dishwasher, so it doesn't say they here. It's, and this is interesting. Okay, and they were staying in the house, staying the night in the house. My mother, Tammy McKinley, passed away, and I'm the executor of her estate. I've been in the process of selling the house to someone. We have already
Lies.
gone through probate. We have already gone through probate, so that the probate's already
It's
done.
still open.
It's still open.
Yeah.
Probate is still going. They lied.
Yeah.
Okay, so when she says we have already gone through probate, that's not accurate.
No.
Correct.
Is
You
she
can
the
back it up.
executor of her estate?
No, she's
Yeah, she's the personal representative.
represented, but not the executor.
And
They just
then
need
and then the taxes were back 3 years.
yes,
Yes.
going on 4.
Okay. So she may have been the executor, but she sure wasn't taking care of it. So it was not abandoned. It was not abandoned, but it was on the abandoned list.
Yes.
Okay. She lived in it until she passed. You could just turn the utilities on and go in it, go live in it. So,
So
okay,
we're
let's ask
talking
this. So let's ask this.
2025. She died in 23.
Yeah.
So you could just turn the utilities on and go live in it. So if that's a bold statement, that's a pretty good statement there on the affidavit, because she's literally saying you could just turn on the utilities and go live in it without breaking in.
Exactly. She's saying it's open, I guess.
So there's
But
nothing
she
wrong.
hasn't been there.
There's nothing wrong with the house. I had someone go over the first part of the summer to take care of the yard. So only that sounds like one time. And the
Yep.
older brother has been going over there recently and taking care of the yard. He was the one who noticed the stuff missing from the house. The only person who has permission to go to the house other than myself is my other brother. I did not give Earl Marvey or Janette permission to go there or go inside the residence. I never received anything in the mail stating someone had interest in the property until this. But the attorney was contacted.
Exactly. And she's not the owner.
She's not the owner.
The owner.
And the brother has a restraining order. He ain't even supposed to be there. And whoever the people that were living there, did they take the stuff?
Now, the
If
only
it
thing
was
I would
like-
probably say with the restraining order is that if he had a restraining order from the mother, then that would have actually been eliminated once she passed. But
it's not so active because he can't be at the house. That address, it says specifically the address. He can't be at that address.
okay. Until this happened, we had a closing date. To sell the house. What date?
Not true.
Was that? What date was
Not
that?
true.
They never would
They
give
never-
us a date. And either way, they would have
Yeah.
had to pay the taxes.
Taxes. Even if
You
they would have
can't-
sold the home, they
Yeah.
still had to pay the taxes. They should say thank you. Thank you, Hope Foundation Fund, for coming through and helping us.
Okay, so let's see.
Yeah, they never would give us a closing date.
Because there wasn't one.
I absolutely want to pursue charges against them. I spoke with Holly's attorney, Todd, who stated, I received the notice of claim of interest in real property from the Hope Foundation regarding. I don't recall exactly when I received it. The notice does not give them any legal right to go inside the property. The only thing they could possibly claim is a mechanic's lien, which is not possessive. I don't think they even qualify for that because they have to have an agreement, which they do not have. We have a lien on the house. We have to cure to sell it. They have no rights to the house. They had no agreement with us to enter the house. They said they paid the taxes, but that does not give them right to go in the house. They have to buy the house through the tax sale to possess it. They are trying to bypass the law. We are trying to sell the house now until they put a lien on it. The house is in probate, but Holly is the executor and has all authority to be in the house and sell the house. Janette and refused to give their personal information to officers when they were contacted. I initially did not believe I had a legal basis to force them to give their identity, as I was unsure if this was a civil issue or a crime at the time. Well, it would seem as though it's a civil issue.
Yes.
I don't know what crime. If one is going to facilitate and clean up and improve and rehabilitate the house, I don't see how there's a crime, right? Because you would have to go in there with the intent, a mens rea, of committing a crime. Now, and there's clearly contact being established. Now, both Earl and Janette will not return my phone calls. On 10/10/25, I had a phone call from the billing department at City Hall saying Janette was in the office trying to turn on the electricity. I asked that they tell Janette to contact me. Why would
Exactly.
the department call the police officers?
Exactly, because of Charlie Warner. They were trying to get me. They wanted to take my brain.
This is weird.
I'm telling you.
As I was about to leave to go to City Hall, Janette called me from an anonymous phone number and stated she was with someone named Christine. Is that Christine the same Christine in here?
No.
No.
Okay. I told Janette I wanted to speak with her about what I found out, and she said she would speak to me over the phone. I asked for personal information from our report since she was a possible suspect in a fraud case and
Now
burglary
it's fraud.
case. Now it's fraud. Now we done moved into fraud. So we went to suspects, to a civil issue, to fraud and burglary.
Exactly.
She asked what the report number was and what the crime I was investigating. I told her I could forward her the information and she would have her attorney look at it, but she refused to give me her personal information. I told her that is obstruction. That is I told her that.
They love using that. Okay, now I'm going to arrest you for obstruction. Whoa.
Yeah, that's their go-to. As I was not asking for any information which could be deemed self-incriminating, I was only asking for her personal information for my report. She said she would have her attorney contact me, and I asked who her attorney was. At this time, Christina got on the phone, and there was no crime committed, and Janette does not have to give her information. I asked Christina if she was her attorney, and Janette said she was legal and hung up on me. I later received an email from someone claiming to be a public audit investigator demanding I cease and desist in my investigation and provide them with the information I have gathered thus far. City Attorney Vance Shane Allen said he had made contact with an investigator, Charlie Warner.
No.
So City Attorney Vance Shane said he had made contact with an investigator, Charlie Warner, with the Arizona Department of Public Safety.
Exactly.
Department of Public Safety.
You see that?
So he's with the Department of Public Safety
in a whole nother state.
That's not, I mean, he's an investigator, but the Department of Public Safety is not, it's not like law enforcement. Well, I mean, I guess it is in a sense, but that one's, what department within the Department of Public Safety? Go ahead, Christine.
He is with the auto theft department, theft task force.
Yep, has nothing to do with properties and civil matters. He just hates me. He told me he hates me.
And I just happen to be in the whirlwind of it.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure that the city of Ponca hates me more than him at this point.
So, Christine, you would have to actually unmute. Oh, I see you have your hand.
Unmute. Christine.
Sorry, the screen is frozen.
It's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to say something on a side note to bring some light because I was looking at the chat as well. So I have helped them work on this for, a period of time. So I'm a retired Fed. I don't want to get into a bunch of the stuff. I don't want to get into what agency I was with or whatnot. So I think it was, about 2 months ago, you guys, that I made a call to Federal to figure out why he wasn't releasing property, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So about 2 months ago, I made a call to upper admin over at the Pentagon and in DC. And I said, you have got to get to this position where this detective, and so DPS, just so you understand, is Department of Public Safety, and it's the law enforcement over the state of Arizona.
Okay.
So I pulled my ties and my retired stuff. And there was another person actually who was at Charlie Kirk's funeral when I worked that in DC, and him and I spoke about it then in September. And I said, you have got to get this detective to back off. I said, this is turning into a personal situation. It's very disturbing. I need property returned. I need you to go on it based upon my creed and what I have done and my reputation, that I would not vouch for people that were not legit if this wasn't something that was a problem. And so I've asked for an investigation, and it's kind of, fall upon deaf ears. But we did finally get the property back. He was specifically told to not run NCICs. He was specifically told, so the FBI runs the system where you can only hit so much. So you go into car theft, you go into drugs, you go into trespassing, you go into these different categories. And the FBI regulates that. So if an officer or any agency goes beyond their scope of practice, there's supposed to be a red flag. And so my questions have been, why has that not been processed? Why has there not been an investigation into why he keeps doing this NCIC hit on people, on this specific organization and people? I've received no answer. We finally got the property back, and when the conversation took place, they were so obsessed with how the three of us even knew each other that ended up being the discussion. Janette and I were actually on the phone with a different detective that I think it was the property detective. And he was so obsessed with the fact that I even got involved and how I got involved so long story short, I ended up having one of the senators, people who I know quite well, I had him reach out to DPS, and it was the second command. So it was the second command of the entire police force of the state of Arizona, and he was not happy. So he specifically told Warner to back off, and he has not backed off.
And now let me jump in right here. Thank you. Thank you very much, Christine. I appreciate that. So let me jump in right here. So Charlie Warner knew he was supposed to leave us alone. He calls me and says, "Oh, you guys didn't do anything wrong. I got bigger things. I got to be going after cartel. Everything's fine. I hope you got all your stuff back, blah, blah, blah." Right. Well, his last ditch effort is that he sent our photos to Ponca City, the city attorney, and was like, "Well, if I can't get them, you got to try to get them." And then here we are.
That's badass. Christina's involved with the feds type vibes, though. That's fucking cool.
That's funny. I felt bad because so now I'm wondering if I've made it worse because I demanded it. I've been demanding this for about 5 months. I said, something's got to be done. So I'm trying to follow the accountability. I do not want to get into certain things on here. Patel, there's a lot of changes at the FBI. There's a lot of changes over at the Pentagon. So the people that I have been talking to, there's a lot of changes right now. A lot of things are uncertain. So the people that I deal with, are on a different level, but I've been encouraging them. I said, you've got to follow this stuff. There's something wrong here. There's something wrong. And there's nothing that I can I'm not on duty anymore. I'm not in to investigate. Yeah. Cause I did terrorism and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not working. So we're trying to get the right people. And that's been the issue is nobody wants to get involved because it's such a cluster. And
so now look, Cam, if you continue forward in your email, if you continue forward in this affidavit, now you understand what she's saying. So if we can keep going right there, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
I wonder getting the IRS in on this because of all the fraud that's going on.
That or DOJ. That or DOJ too. That's what I was thinking. I was like, DOJ may do something in relation to this. If we're able to get, DOJ just to make us, contact.
Just one person, yes. If we can get just a person say, well, let me look into it, and they see it, then I know the ball can get rolling. And that's why I want you to keep going, Cam, because you'll see how this turns out because it's Charlie Warner.
So the investigator Warner had investigated the Hope Foundation and the people claiming to be Earl Marvey and Janette Oliver. I made contact with investigator Warner, who stated, "I was able to identify the person who goes by Earl Marvey as Trayton. He has an active warrant out of California for dangerous drugs and multiple restraining orders on
lies.
The female who goes by Janette Oliver is actually Janette Skiba. I investigated them for towing abandoned cars and placing liens on them, and they were later reported stolen. I don't know what the relationship between Trayton and Janette is." So they're over here making claims on the towing abandoned cars and placing liens on them, and then they were later reported stolen. So that's crazy. So I asked investigator Warner if he heard of Christopher John Stone, who actually is Shane Allen, who according to Shane Allen, that's the one dude that called you boy?
Yep.
Okay.
Boy.
Is who they are saying they bought the vehicle from, but investigator Warner had not heard of him. I sent still photos of Janette Oliver and Earl Marvey to investigator Warner. He later sent me back the booking information with photographs from his investigation. I confirmed the photos of the booking information were the same people. I learned the real name of Earl Marvey is Trayton, and Janette is Janette, who is the notary who authorized the paperwork filed through K County. I contacted the K County Sheriff's Office to see if they had video of Janette going into K County Clerk's office and filing the liens against the property, but the video had already been overwritten due to the time frame. I contacted the 4 clerks that work at the K County, Dawn and all these other ones. I took a photograph of Janette and showed it to Dawn and all of them. All of them identified her as the woman filing the paperwork on behalf of the Hope Foundation. I researched the Hope Foundation fund. The addresses they gave back were in Lakeside, comes back to a strip mall. According to Google, it is associated with a UPS store. So I'm guessing you just had an address at a UPS store?
Mailing address. Yeah. Exactly. Like a normal people do. Like, why do we even have UPS if it wasn't legal or if people didn't use them for business?
So I was unable to locate anything online about the Hope Foundation from Lakeside. Really?
We're all over the internet, brother. We've been doing this for 10 years.
It is also suspicious that all the numbers from the company come back to either an internet or prepaid phone number. I don't know why that would be if someone doesn't want to give their direct number online. It's weird.
Exactly.
The email associated with the Hope Foundation is odd because Outlook.com is commonly associated with home computers and not a company or not for profit organization. That's a weird claim too, because I just watched Illinois. Illinois just literally changed
Yep.
all of their like house and like their legislators and representatives just literally changed over to a Gmail. So that's kind of
Yep.
odd.
Yeah, that's the
Yep.
K County lady.
K County.
Her-
Yeah. She has a Google number. They all have everything they're saying about us. They have. They're doing the
That's
same thing.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's where they end
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. They're trying to take our lives for this.
So where is the theft of the property?
Exactly.
We don't know because she's saying that someone else said. How can Holly Thompson say that we stole something if she has never been to the house?
Wait. So it ends there, but there's no findings of what has been claimed as far as a theft of a water heater, a dresser, or a mattress, or anything like that.
Brother. It's a made up story. That's the problem.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
How can you find something they made up? Yeah.
So it ends there without anybody showing any burglary. That is
Just
crazy.
words.
So what is the burglary then? Just someone making a claim that items are missing?
Yep.
That leads. I'm just assuming, bro, because that's all I can do. I don't, I'm not there. I don't have, I can only work with the information that I have, right? But what it seems to me, and I don't know, I would like to have other people's opinions here on what we're seeing so far, is I don't see how we're getting to a burglary here.
It didn't happen, brother.
Where is proof that anything is missing? Where did they find it? Where are they showing that something was sold or that was taken out of
They
them?
just need information to charge somebody and create a bond. And then you got to go in front of a judge. So there's no evidence. There never is in anything that these guys charge us with. That's outside that doesn't have a corpus delicti and a victim.
Say that one more time.
Corpus delicti and a victim of a crime.
Yep, exactly. You have to have a body, right?
Yeah.
There's no victim.
If there's no victim, there's no crime. And they're trying to charge you with crimes. And it's just extortion and
exactly.
I'm just really lost because if the thing's on the abandoned house list and one does have access to the property and does file all the paperwork to properly fix up the abandoned home and is taking care of it and doing everything properly, and then one says, hey, you're not to have access on this property. Okay, well, we've done work on it. It was on the abandoned list. We've paid all the back taxes on it. We're trying to restore and make sure that this house didn't get lost to the city. Why is that not amicably worked out between those two parties? I'm confused on how it turns
you got
from
the state in the middle of it all, being the negotiator in the whole thing, and you got two attorneys and a judge involved. They want to collect money, and you got a bank that wants the property. So
I think the house on that particular property is paid off, but the other one, the bank definitely wants to collect. And you got to realize that the people that are relatives of this deceased woman, they're not upstanding citizens. They'll do whatever they can to get stuff for free. I mean,
look at their Facebooks. Look at
the police.
All desperate people will.
Yeah.
That's human nature, and these people don't know the law either. And so they're trying to claw back. And then you get the attorneys and the city involved in the whole thing thinking, oh yeah, we'll help you.
What's up, Zach?
With CPS, they do the same thing, act like your best friend and then come steal your freaking children.
Yep. How can we help you?
It's all about money, power, and control. And if you don't play their game or if you're not part of their,
club.
Yeah. And
I'm just praying, Chris, that the district attorney is not in corroboration because they're supposed to be fighting corruption, public corruption. It's even on their website. I'm trying to get everybody to initiate talking to this Billy Shars saying, hey, you got a false case here. get everybody calling, making phone calls. Why are you trying to harm these people? Because that's how we got our stuff done in Arizona. People were calling. People were saying, wait a minute, this don't seem right. The district attorney came to me personally. He said, hey, can I talk to you? I go, what's up, man? He goes, I saw the video. People have been calling me. I don't want nothing to do with this. How can we work this out? And then that's how we ended up getting it taken care of. So I need you guys.
Yeah.
We need to bring awareness to these things to those district attorneys and to the state, federal district attorneys too.
It really makes me well, I mean, if y'all wanted to post, whether it's in the general chat or not, or even in this chat right here in the Zoom, to ask people to reach out directly to start asking questions, to see exactly what's going on. Because I'm confused on how we have a burglary, and I'm really lost on the conspiracy aspect as well, because it seems as though there's been y'all have probably reached out. You're sending out paperwork. The state has given permits, has given permission. Let me ask you this: there were other properties involved that are not included within this burglary aspect here. What is the status with those properties? Are there issues with those, or have y'all just kind of ceased because of the issues?
We're just done because I don't want to get. They already beat me up and knocked me unconscious.
And the ones that were owned by Bobby Garrett at the time,
they were owned by Ponca City.
They were owned by somebody else. I went ahead out of the goodness of my heart and trying to show good faith the day of that meeting and told them that I would release the liens, even though they refused to pay us for the work that was done, and we saved them from having to pay the city. But honestly, I don't think they would have had to pay the city because Stephanie was with the city.
Part of it. But I shake Stephanie Austin's hand at the end. I said, are you going to pay me for the work I did? She goes, absolutely not. Ha ha ha. And I go, well, I'm not taking the lien off.
But I had already committed to it, so I keep my word, and I removed the liens from those homes.
Stephanie Austin, y'all got to look her up. I'm telling you.
And then the other ones, they're still there because we are currently working with the homeowner on Oak, and then the other one, you can see the battle that we're
And we paid $500 to get the power lines fixed. You feel me? So that this lady can have power with her kids. I would do the same thing for you and you and you, because this is what I do.
Yeah, it was bad. If you guys could see the before and after pictures, you couldn't even walk in the house. It smelled like pee.
We had a dumpster sky high. Dumpster was sky high. Oh, there she is. There she is. And that's a different look. She has a lot of different looks and different businesses. They come and go, but that's her.
And she won't return a call.
She won't return calls. I even had other people call saying, well, I'm looking for some business. Can I call you, talk to you? And she will never recall. She'll never call nobody.
The mayor wouldn't call me back.
Yeah, she is. I'm telling you.
Crazy lady ass.
Crazy ass.
Yeah. I had a good nickname for her.
Yeah, crazy ass. Orange is the new black. Yeah. Yeah. And if you look at the Ponca City Police Department, you don't even have to know the Constitution or law to become a police officer there. It actually says that.
They're hiring right now.
They're hiring.
Everybody wants a job.
Do they have oath of office?
Wow.
Yep.
Well, for instance, Kentucky here, I went to 3 or 4 different places in the city, and they did not have a copy of the Constitution, not even the Kentucky Constitution.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why whoever gets the charter, whoever is that person out here, if you could find out, because if they don't even have oath of office, they're a fraud. They're operating under the color of the law.
Yeah, that's her right
there.
Yep. Yep, there she goes. She is a sneaky dinky.
Would be mean.
I'm sorry. They were mean to me.
I understand.
She gave me disgust. She looked at me with disgust, and she
gonna see something.
Spit in my face.
I get it, and she was horrible, but we do not have to be like them.
That's true. See how sweet she is? You see?
And you wonder what drives people to be like this. I mean,
they have a demon in their heart.
Yeah, it's gotta be pure evil.
Article. Oh no, this is a different one. Yeah.
Stephanie Austin cares candidacy for Ponca City Commissioner. Yep, there she goes. And she's part of the Chamber of Commerce. Now check this out. Chamber of Commerce, Bobby Garrett. You see how that works? And so they do these little backdoor kickbacks, and they're going around pillaging and kicking people out of the city.
I think that all officials do those backdoor things.
I think so
it's
too.
It's not just exclusive to Ponca City or them.
They cost us so much money, guys. It's not even funny. About 10, 15 cars they stole from us.
Not to mention the bond money.
Yeah, not to mention the bond money, going through the case, hotels and traveling and tools that have been stolen. It sucks, guys.
I can't wait to see her here the amount or the size and everything that was going to be in the lawsuit, it's got to be astronomical.
Yeah,
I mean, this is, boy, go after the cops and the city. And so I'd make an example out of them. I really would.
So you're talking like a federal civil suit?
Whatever I could get, because they would dig a hole, throw y'all in it, and laugh while they're throwing the dirt over.
Yes.
I mean, that's really what they would do.
That's why we need Delete Lost, Chili, BZ Watchdog. Here's the deal. Oklahoma Watch. Come on, y'all. I'll win the money. I'll give 90% of it away. Just give me enough to get some gas. You know what I'm saying?
Personally, I'm retiring.
She wants to retire, but
I'm gonna go
I still got a little bit of bones in me to keep helping and digging and cleaning and fixing.
Hey, you come on Wisedome very much, you'll get a fire in you. They put one in me. I mean, the knowledge is just awesome in this place.
It is. I love it. That's what I'm thinking.
You should have seen this house.
You should have seen how tore it up it was. Look at it. We fixed all of that. That fence, the grass.
That's all because of us.
Yep. We fixed the window.
Updated picture.
Yeah, that's an updated photo. Yep.
It was
look how beautiful it is, guys. It was bordered up and everything.
The grass was like 2 feet high.
Yeah, I cut the trees. This is the best house on the block, and that's what everybody wants. Even the neighbors are like, "Oh man, you guys somebody's finally fixing this house. Look at that, guys." And they're trying to say they're finding them saying the grass is too high, and we've been cutting it and got pictures. It's a beautiful town, guys. We should buy a whole bunch of properties there and just have a big Wisedome operation.
People across the street got that one off of a list.
Yeah, they got that one off the banning list. The people across the street, they're sweethearts.
And they were very nice. They kept an eye on the house for us. The lady on the other side, the police came out, and she actually came outside and was like, "Are you guys okay?
Leave these people alone."
Yeah.
Yeah, the neighbor right here.
The neighbor right there.
Right there. She came out with her family and her son, and they're Christians. And they said, "Why are you bothering these people?" Yeah, we fixed that whole fence up, guys. Cleaned it up, cut trees, everything.
You should have seen it before.
That place was disgusting. Damn, the trees are bad in the back. They ain't been cutting in the back. Look.
Wow.
Thank you. Reminds me of the old saying, "No good deed never goes unpunished."
Yeah. Who came up with that? That
came up with
doesn't make any sense.
It had to be about government. Had to be about government.
There you go.
Hey, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah, with a knife.
That's some scary stuff right there.
Thank you, guys. I just want to get the district attorney to let it go.
That happened with the whole Warner thing and moving. We would have been living a happy life in Ponca City.
Helping people.
We would have had our dogs. One of my dogs has gone missing. That's, has nothing to do with this, but he'd still be with us right now.
And we're trying to get the Hope team. The Hope team was trying to buy a building. And you know how messed up we had the money. And now we don't.
Yeah, because we had to spend it on.
And the building was going to be for I wanted to host Cam in the Wisedome and have teaching people how to live for free and take care of themselves and education and credit and come on,
This is. And the cool thing about this is during the week, all these Wisedome members, including me, we'll be thinking about this. It'll sit in our brain. We'll be, yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
And you guys can always reach out to the Hope. Like I said, please go to our YouTube channel and give us a shout out. I really would appreciate it. And if you guys actually need anything, I actually teach people how to utilize credit, discharge debt, and to navigate commerce. That's kind of like my thing. And I help people like that. So
I'll definitely be contacting you.
Sure.
My dad became a millionaire doing tax liens.
Really?
I believe it. I believe it. We can get them. I mean,
100,000, we can get probably about $5 million worth of property.
Yeah, I got mine for pennies.
And all of us in here.
But now I'm stuck and I can't do anything with them because of the city. Because I was going to build houses. The city has a program where they will pay to build a home on there as long as you show occupancy that you're building the home for people in the city to rent or whatnot. But I mean, obviously that's not happening now. And I'm stuck with all these lots and I'm maintaining them and it's, it's bleeding me dry.
Yep. We're dragging.
Yeah.
We need help.
We're still trying.
The way my dad did it, he would get a house on tax lien, live in it, fix it, sell it.
Yep. And that's what we've done.
That's what we've done. And now
kind of fun, actually.
it's fun. And when you have a team,
to this stuff.
yeah, when you have a team, guys, doing it together and you eating together, you're praying together, having fun, and when you finish a project and you get someone in the house, get someone in the house.
I need to go where you are, man. Like,
oh yeah,
sure.
well,
I need to start doing some service.
Yeah, we're trying to buy a building in Oregon. We need 150,000. We had someone that was trying to help us, but she kept delaying and kept like acting like she was going to help us, and she really didn't. And so it kind of left us alone. And now the building is not technically for sale, but the guy said if we come up with the money, he'll sell it to us. So, and I'm going to give the building away. It's got 14 offices in it, half an acre of land in the back, fully fenced, completely secured. Like, just imagine what we can do as a unit
of
people doing it.
Where's this at in Oregon?
Klamath Falls.
In Klamath
Falls. Yep.
Yeah, I'm up in Dallas by Salem.
Oh, I like that. Whoa, I like it up there.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I used to be a real estate agent in Oregon, so I know all those areas.
She's a great real estate agent.
The top ones for Berkshire Hathaway.
Yep.
In
hey,
the
now,
Pacific Northwest.
Nice. No, there's a lot of good things we need to do out here for sure.
Yeah, I love Oregon.
Why not? It's just sitting there. It's not going to hurt the city. Why are they worried about it? Like, I'm trying to make people's lives better. We only got one life.
It's all about banks, man. Just give them a social security number. They'll give you whatever the fuck you want.
But you got to have a 660 credit score,
well,
which is bull crap in itself.
Yeah.
That's all crap, the credit score. It
is. It's all bullshit. And, you know,
because they're private corporations.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not commerce? Not in Oklahoma, though.
Yeah, Oklahoma. They don't know anything about private and commerce.
Yeah, they don't, and it was truly an equitable lien, and they don't understand what that means.
They don't know what they're doing out there, and it's sad. We need some real people in getting in those positions. But I do want to say that the people of Ponca City, the actual residents, are beautiful people. They live in a beautiful area.
They're so sweet.
They're so sweet. And I just feel I don't even want to say I feel bad because my buddy said, I feel bad for nobody. These people are wicked. They are nasty. They don't care about nobody but themselves. They just want money, and they will step on anybody to do it. And it's sad, and I pray for them.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at this quick Google overview, right?
Yeah.
In Oklahoma, adverse possession allows a person to claim legal ownership of real estate they do not own by possessing it continuously, openly, and without the owner's permission for a minimum of 15 years. The claimant must exclusively occupy the land and treat it as their own. Key requirements to successfully claim adverse possession, sometimes called a prescriptive claim or squatter's rights. The claimant must prove all of the 5 of the following elements concurrently. Actual. The claimant must physically occupy, use, and maintain the land. Open and notorious. The occupation must be obvious, visible, and public, not hidden or secretive. Exclusive. The claimant must be the sole occupant. Sharing the land with the actual record owner invalidates the claim. Hostile. The use must be without the legal owner's permission. This does not mean aggressive. It means it violates the true owner's property rights. Continuous. The possession and use must remain uninterrupted for 15-year statutory period. Abandoning the property resets the clock to 0. The 15-year rule, the baseline statute of limitations in Oklahoma is 15 years if the rightful owner does not initiate legal action to eject the possessor within this time. They may lose the title. Tax payment exception. Under Oklahoma statutes Title 60, Section 333, which is weird because it's 6 and then 333. If the adverse possessor actively pays the property taxes on the disputed parcel throughout their occupancy, the required statutory time period is shortened. Furthermore, under the statute, an adverse possession claim is invalid if the legal owner has paid and discharged all taxes and assessments on the land during that same time frame. So adverse possession claims frequently arise in disputes over shared property lines, fences, and outbuildings. In these scenarios, courts may allow tacking, a legal principle where the multiple successive possessors add their periods of time together to reach the 15-year requirement. Legal action required adverse possession does not transfer title automatically. But it seems as though from everything I'm listening to from y'all's situation, that this is just an adverse possession gone bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the claimant must physically occupy, use, and maintain the land, actual use. Open and notorious, the occupation must be obvious and visible and public, not hidden or secretive. Seems as though you've sent off plenty of notices for that to be applicable. Exclusive, claimant must be the sole occupant. not saying that y'all were definitely always in there or the sole occupant of the property, but hostile. Again, the use must be without the legal owner's permission, right? So, I mean, the law is stating that the use must be without the legal owner's permission, right? And until I would think that some notice is actually given to y'all to stop maintaining the property whatsoever, then there can actually be no criminal charges being brought forth. So for this detective to not understand the adverse possession laws and statutes that are applicable here under Title 60, Section 333, it seems as though, again, like police do, and I know this just because I've been involved with the system, my dad was part of the system and done this, is that they will trump up, they'll have something that may meet the elements of a misdemeanor, but then also may meet the elements of a higher charge as well. And they charge that higher charge to try and bring something. But what's interesting in the probable cause is, to be honest with you, I don't even think the probable cause affidavit has enough weight to substantiate the charges that have been brought forth. And I would love to hear any opinions that y'all may have in relation to that as well. Anybody?
Should I tell him about Heber? What happened? No.
I just think
I mean,
Detective
not
Corey
the
Vincent is a coward, and he's probably uneducated, and he's just a yes man for the city attorney Shane Allen and Stephanie Austin. He's
I don't
a minion.
think that he's a bad guy, honestly. I think that he's just doing what he's told.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a bad person.
Per se, to me, that means a coward.
Well, whatever. He probably likes getting paid.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says under the Oklahoma statutes of burglary in the second and third degree, every person who breaks and enters, okay, they still, within the probable cause affidavit, have not shown where there was anything that was broken. I don't see any claims of anything
it also
being broken.
says the dwelling there. It says the dwelling of another house of another.
Well, you got to remember there's an
They're
and.
not dwelling there.
Okay,
Yeah,
well you got to remember though that there's an and. There isn't an or.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we have every person who breaks and enters, right? So it has to be conjunction or both.
Yeah.
I'm not showing where they have been able to establish that anybody has broken into that house. And then enters the dwelling house of another in which there is at the time no human being present, or any commercial building or any part of any building, room, booth, tent, railroad car, or other structure or erection in which any property is kept or breaks into or forcibly opens. Again, where are the pictures, where in the affidavit that it shows that anything was broken into, there was a force of entry in any regard?
Well, you got to show that they were dwelling in the house too.
Yes, they do have to show that they were dwelling in the house. There's
There
no
was
doubt.
dwelling there.
We have hotel receipts. We lived in a hotel the whole time we were there.
The owner,
Oh.
that possessed the house, supposedly that you entered and broke into, there was no one dwelling there. There has to be someone dwelling in the house.
Yeah, there was. It said it's on abandoned list.
Exactly.
Wisedome.
Right.
United States versus Bishop sets the standard for willfulness. It must be proven that you are a party. It must be proven that you had the method or opportunity to do a thing. It must be proven that you did this with a willful intent.
Yes.
Willfulness is an evil motive or an intent to avoid a known duty or task under the law with a moral certainty.
Now
you didn't do anything.
Yeah, you're
with
speaking
an evil
on
motive or
intent.
intent.
Exactly. So you're speaking with intent. It says it right here, with intent to steal any property therein or to commit any felony.
Yeah, and our intent was to save the property because we paid the taxes, we maintained the yard, we had people maintain the yard, and we put up no trespassing signs.
When you hear about an older lady getting abused by her own son and that she's behind on her taxes, and we had the opportunity to help them, I mean, I couldn't help it but to say we should take on this story and help these people.
I mean, to me, it sounds like the lady or the Holly, I guess her name is that correct, Holly? There could even be possible, and this is just me speculating, okay, but it sounds to me like if there was any missing items, that they intentionally made items to be missed to actually bring forth any claims, because again, you have to, with intent, right? Even under subsection B, you have with intent to steal any property therein, steal any property attached thereto, or commit any felony is guilty of burglary in the third degree. I don't, they haven't even in their probable cause shown anything to show that anything was actually truly stolen. I see
Yeah,
that
so
there's
they
a
don't meet
claim, but they don't meet the elements whatsoever. First off,
yeah,
they
they
don't
don't
meet the
meet the
elements on actual property being stolen because there's no proof. And then they don't meet the second element of intent.
Exactly.
Where can they show the
Yeah.
intent? They can't
Yeah, they don't meet the subject matter of willfulness.
at all.
So
At
they
all.
don't have a standing.
No
At all.
mens res or active res.
Yeah.
So I have a question then, and I know Cam's helping us with this, but I mean, we all see this as clear as day. But knowing what we're dealing with in this county and the corruption there, this should just go away. But I mean, really, do you guys believe
Yeah.
it's just going to go away?
Like they're
I
holding
mean,
this against to keep us
honestly,
from there.
I mean, honestly, to me, it's looking like if you can articulate it fairly well and it can be fair, right? That the
Yeah.
probable cause is really weak here.
Yes.
Probable
Gross.
cause is really weak, bro.
Like he should be ashamed for even typing that up. Like I don't know what he was thinking in his dirty draw sitting there on his computer.
I had like him talk.
He looked like he had dirty draws on. I'm just saying.
I mean, even look at the conspiracy elements here. Let's check that out as well.
I can picture him eat Cheetos and yellow underwear.
Exactly. Typing up. We got fraud and conspiracy. I'm in Oklahoma.
Well, what I'm thinking, like his mindset is keep the negativity out, because that's what I've had to do learning all this. And you're bringing forth facts and truth. So yeah, just positive mind, and it's so hard, the negativity is like tons and tons of it in here, but yeah.
There's a lot of negative people in Ponca City and they're suffering.
Yeah.
Well, it says under the conspiracy, it says if two or more persons conspire either to commit any crime, falsely and maliciously to indict another for any crime, or to procure another to be charged or arrested for any crime, which, I mean, the conspiracy here may even fall on Holly and her brother. Under
Exactly.
that, under subsection 2, I mean, falsely
that's what I was pointing out earlier.
Yeah.
File claims in federal right now. You got the receipts.
I mean, falsely and maliciously to indict another for any crime, or to procure another to be charged or arrested for any crime. I mean, to be all honest, that Holly and her brother might be falling under subsection 2 of conspiracy.
Well, that's pretty standard for them to accuse you of the crimes they're committing.
Facts.
Yeah.
True.
Are they wanting you to plead to like the lessest possible charge? So like you think like you got a slap on the wrist, but really it's just one step in direction of wrongdoing to clear their whole name.
Yep.
I'm thinking if you can do a leapfrog and go straight to federal and have somebody shut them down, because they have a boss hiring them. And
And Trump's FBI is looking for corrupt officials.
Yep, he did say that. I saw that.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
Trump.
Trump.
Oh, okay.
I love
I
it.
put it in the chat way earlier about his executive order eradicating corrupt and human abuses. They're waiting for us to tell on them.
Yep, I'm ready to tell. I never thought I'd say it, but man, I'm ready to tell. Guess there's a first time for everything.
Oh yeah, you copied that, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it in the chat for the link.
To me, the biggest plus having Trump as president is what he went through. He really seen the corruption firsthand. And they kicked a bear hibernating to me.
Yep. I agree. Because now he don't care. He's right. Making it happen.
Okay, so right here under the Oklahoma Society of Land Surveyors .org. So this is seems as though this is an official governmental website of some sort, and it was pushed by the administrator in the adverse possession in Oklahoma. Adverse possession, 15 years, 5 elements. Actual means, you must held yourself as the owner. Okay, so you acted as the owner, told people you're the owner, maintained the property, etc. Open and notorious. This means your actions were public and able to be seen or observed, not secretive. Exclusive. This just means that you are the only one occupying the land. You can't occupy the land in question with the true owner hostile. This element is not as easy to prove, but it basically means that you're holding the land regardless of the true boundary of what the true owner believes. The possession cannot be permitted by the owner, or the hostile element cannot be met. Continuous uninterrupted. Fence lines are one of the most common ways to void posture future. Okay, so let's see. That one's okay, but limitation on real actions, adverse right to the interest therein. It said 6333, right?
Yes.
Yep, 6333.
But I'm just confused. Like, if the property owners were happy you were helping them, like, why did you guys get screwed over by the city? They just
Charlie Warner, Stephanie Austin.
You wanted to be the only people allowed to use tax forms. Like, we have access to IRS, not you.
Yeah. Well, this only reason they're trying to ruin us and destroy us is because Stephanie Austin, we caught her and her boyfriend, or whatever you want to call it. He said he's not with her no more. We have a recording of that. But we caught their little scheme and we got in. So it freaked her out because think about it. They're doing millions of dollars in homes and we're here. We come in trying to help people. And then on top of that, that aspirated it was Charlie Warner's like, these guys are scum. You got to get them. And so now it's like,
they can't be the claimant and the process server. So any action with them regarding you should be instantly moved to a federal jurisdiction.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to, because we're definitely not going to get a fair chance there. The judge
they're
himself.
They're going to rule against you in the most bogus way, even if it's prima facie on its face. And what you have to do is do a federal, what's it called? Appeal.
Yeah, the judge himself.
If you don't get appealed, they're just going to try to bury you.
Yep. Yeah, the judge himself doesn't even have honor. Like, to say honorable judge is so horrible because they up there in their little nasty, stinky draws, just making up stuff as they go because they want to just harm somebody. But then they let rapists go and murderers go, and they want to try to harm people that are helping the community.
Yeah, that is a fact.
Shame.
But
I pray for you.
That sounds like what the Tea Party USA people are doing in Arizona, like southeast of Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it was just the 13 colonies and America was being born, I think can't remember exactly, the representatives of the colonies and all that, they had to swear that they were a Christian and all this stuff. And
exactly.
You don't hear that anymore. It's sad.
And they just make up stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, we do.
Still got power.
I do, and I feel like with Cam, I feel like Cam is anointed, and Cam has a gift, and that we need to protect him. We need to help him and make sure that he's secure. You know, I want to do that. I want to be part of it.
Yeah, Cam kind of like my shepherd.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
because he's articulate. His mind is so sharp. He's connected to the universe. He sees it clearly. Yes. He's not trying to get over on us. He's not trying to take advantage of our situation.
Okay, for y'all in Oklahoma, it's going to be prescription by title instead of adverse possession. It is 60.333, occupancy for a period prescribed by the civil procedure. This is all civil, bro.
Yep, I know.
And there's another title too. It's Title 12, Section 93.
Title 12, Section 93.
To bar against for the recovery of the property. So I don't see how they're.
It basically says if you color the title and pay the taxes, that the time frame can be shortened to 5 years versus 15 under certain conditions.
Yep. We did everything right, man. Just that Charlie Warner decided to smut us.
Well, and the city attorney is not a nice man.
He's not.
I mean, he's just not nice.
I don't even want to play the recording where he's like, boy, you wagging the dog, boy. I'm going to show you, boy. I ain't afraid of you. Like, he was just unprofessional. And he doesn't even know the law. He was in media for 20 years and just became a city attorney. He's like, go sit on something.
Okay. Yeah. Check this one out. So this, it died though, but it was dead. Wait. Introduced in committee, and then it was dead. And it's probably dead because it didn't benefit those that were higher up.
Yeah.
But this was an act relating to the property, amending 6333, right? Which relates to the title by prescription, prohibiting title by prescription under the specified circumstances and providing an effective date. So this bill amends Oklahoma property law by modifying the existing statute on title by prescription, a legal process where someone can gain ownership of the land through long-term occupation. Currently, occupying land for a prescribed period can confer legal title against the original owner. Okay, so it's clear, are openly out, notoriously out here doing what we're doing because it was on the abandoned list. But it then says the bill adds a crucial new provision that prevents someone from claiming adverse possession if the original property owner has consistently paid all taxes and assessments on the land during the period of claimed possession. Well, this didn't pass. And even as such, nobody was paying the taxes.
Nope. And it was dilapidated. The house is disgusting.
So in this bill that didn't pass but was introduced, this means that even if someone has been occupying a piece of land for an extended time, they cannot gain legal title if the original owner has maintained proper tax payments. Again, they haven't. And this bill didn't pass. The bill would be effective November 1st of 25, and is designed to protect property owners by making it more difficult for adverse possessors to claim legal ownership of land when the original owner has been diligent about maintaining their property rights through tax payments. This didn't pass. So, even as such, what sponsors would be Dave Rader. Man, I wonder if a call over to Dave Rader would even be
right. Right there, Dave Rader.
Yeah, Dave Rader. All right.
See, that's your brain thinking. See, I wouldn't even thought about that. See, and that I would love to contact him. Hey, Dave. You know what I mean? Famous Dave.
Yeah, this was in relation to Senate Bill 972.
Okay, put in Senate Bill 972.
It's only got 296 views and total 296 views, but yeah, it died. Yeah. But either or, I mean, they were even trying to put in more protections, and they said no, we're not doing this. And it's probably because those higher ups know that they can utilize the adverse possession on the abandonment, but yet when again the people try to utilize it, look what happens.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, and it's funny because I had this thing in the report. Let me see if I can find it really quick, where he had said, I sent it to you. Let me see here. Let me get back to it. Oh, it was in the newsletter from KCAL. Officials explained to the pair that they needed permission from the property owners before working on the homes. Well, the city does not get permission from the homeowners before they lien them and go mow their grass. And then they send them a bill.
Amen.
So why is the city allowed to do, but the people aren't?
Come on now. They don't have exclusivity.
Exactly.
All you guys can do the same thing. Free, clear.
And this house still doesn't have the taxes paid, and they're getting lien statements from the city.
Now the city's trying to take their property now.
I mean, these people should be thanking us, but whatever. Yeah. They're just not.
Well, it's because they're takers and they're on drugs, and they really need help in substance abuse treatment, and I pray for them.
Christ Church Pentecostal.
This was for quiet the title. Okay. I'm just trying to look and see what other case law to recover possession of small strip of land. Yeah, so there's case law on this that we even need to look into a little bit deeper. The facts are not sufficient to establish the title by prescription as defined, since such title is based upon adverse possession for the statutory period. In the instant case, there was no showing that any owner of Lot 8 held possession in the disputed strip adversely prior to the acquisition of the property by defendants. So there's a lot of case law on this. We just need to look into it a little bit more to distinguish the differences between the civil aspect and what was being applied on a possible. I'm not saying that y'all were doing a title by prescription or adverse possession, but
we weren't even going to apply for the title until they tried to screw us out of our money. That's when I decided to go and do a foreclosure on them, the same as a bank would do.
Exactly. Equitable lien is equitable rights, but they go by policies and procedures, and they don't even know. They go, statutes, and they don't go by the law. And they only pick and choose who they're going to force it on.
It's like, you know how some people read the Bible and they only apply the certain words, but they don't apply the whole thing. That's what they're doing to the law in our case. It's interesting.
While Stephanie Austin is sitting on her high horse, hiding behind the veil of being a commissioner, right next to the
Thomas and his
the mayor with her complacency, because They're all from there. They all
Yeah, the mayor, I thought she was a good person, but she wouldn't return my calls either. And apparently she doesn't have voicemail either.
Yep.
I never heard
Ain't
of
that
such a
something?
thing.
They don't have no God in their heart.
16 Angiers 2D Section 256. The general rule is that unconstitutional statute, whether state or federal, though having the name and form of law, is in reality no law, but wholly void and ineffective for any purpose, since unconstitutionality dates from the enactment and not merely from the date of the decision, so branding it. An unconstitutional law is in legal contemplation as inoperative as it never been passed.
Yep, exactly. So repugnant to anything repugnant to the Constitution is null and void.
Well, and like maybe let's talk about what's going on with the utilities, because we still have that issue with this home, and she was able to get a forbearance for the next few months, but we still need to get that taken care of. Any ideas on how we get the utilities on? I've already tried to sue, and you saw how that went. They put criminal charges against me.
Kylie knew.
Mr. B, where you at?
That seems like theft of service.
Yeah, theft of service.
Okay.
Write that down. Theft of service. I like that. Okay.
I mean, you got a right to have utilities, I would think, anywhere. And if they're trying to
You do. It's your God-given right. And basically what they've done is, what was the term I used?
Not a forced
They
eviction.
constructively evicted this woman from her home. And then they've done vindictive prosecution against us.
And then it's
I'd probably look through some of the Utility Exchange Commission laws around that, maybe, to find something about, what their requirements to supply living conditions in a city when that's the only option you got. And they require they make the requirements. They don't let you go away. They got to on it all.
Well, what I ran into when I was calling, there's I'm sorry, I don't have my notes, and I've got so many other things going on in my head.
Right. We're brainstorming here.
Okay. There's some kind of a utility board or utility commission for the state of Oklahoma. And when I called them, what they told me is, well, because they're a municipality and they own their own utility company, we can't do a damn thing for you.
So they can change the rules anytime to fit their needs.
Which is basically what they did. Yeah. But I'm not really sure how to deal with it, because
that seems like a monopoly of some sort, right? Because
yes,
definitely
in the area.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only people you can get it from. That's it. That's all.
And that's a state organized. That's a federal organized corporation. Actually, all the utility exchange are, and all those bills and utilities are the responsibility of the United States government, according to the 1933 Act.
Exactly. And I teach people how to write off the power bill. No, Brandon Joe Williams even does. He knows he's been living without no power for 3 years.
We all know these tricks, and it's like, come on, people. That means we know at minimum. Maybe we can't write off our, everything, but at minimum we ought to be able to write off our utilities and say those are the responsibility of the United States government.
Got to pay for some
infrastructure and everything else. So
exactly, because we are the people.
We are the people.
Yeah. And it says it in their laws.
We're the creditors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're foreign agents.
If we can't get our mortgages and our credit statements, credit cards written off and discharged, they at least ought to be responsible for the utilities of this country, because we're all beholden to the electricity and the the water in the area. We can't collect our own rainwater in most cities, or you'll get fined, because that's
and all this stuff is actually free from the earth, and we were born on this earth free, and we got to pay to live here, pay to use water.
And we already paid for the infrastructure. We already built it. People built it, paid for it, and we rent it to the public.
Man has not created anything. They didn't create water. They didn't create air. They didn't create the dirt. You know what I'm saying? We're stewards of this planet. I'm a vicegerent. It's my duty to cultivate and take care of the land, just like you have a right to have it.
We created the government.
They're not doing it, and this woman shouldn't lose her home because of their behavior.
And we say thank you for Janette for being patient with us and trusting us to help her, and we love her, and we really pray for her and her children and her safety, and to get her home back.
Amen.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I pray all the time that God convicts these people and they do the right thing, but so far they're not.
They're not. They have to be forced. That's what I said. It's now it's the enforcement phase, holding people accountable. People need to lose their jobs. They got a lot of job openings in Ponca City. I'm willing to put up the house for people to move there and to start getting these jobs in these municipalities. You know, I'll house you for free. You know, just get in there.
We need to get back to creator mentality and get out of the government mentality. And then we'll have jobs and we'll be able to build shit again in this country that we've lost.
Just if I didn't have this $31,000 van. Game.
Yeah.
For sure. You're right there. Be active in a real ministry.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're trying to buy a building. You know, I am a ordained minister, and I'm trying to get this building. We would have had it 2 years ago, and imagine what we could have gotten done since then. You know, because I would have been hosting Cam and Brandon and everybody. Y'all come on down, do your thing.
We're still gonna do it.
We're still gonna
Don't put it out there like it's not. It's still happening.
We're still gonna make it happen.
We all got our mission on this earth, brother, and you know it all makes a difference. And we're all, you know, God's given us all. God's given us all a mission, man, and through our heart, we're gonna get through it. I'm sure.
Like Captain Crown had said, you know, we help people across the street, across the seas, but we won't help the people across the street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very interested in this one though. I mean, it's kind of weird how they've just done the whole conspiracy thing. There was a burglary thing. They have no proof for the burglary. The elements aren't met whatsoever. It's very interesting to me. And
Well,
you can tell.
I'm dealing with the same thing with the tribe but I'm on the offense with them, and the more crimes they break up, the more crimes they commit. So they just keep digging themselves in deeper and deeper and ignoring you and they just keep committing more crimes against me as they wait. Like they said, they put that trespassing charge against me right after they filed a motion to dismiss, so I couldn't go to the court to enter the papers. And
that's what they're doing to us.
So I filed a motion to that, gave them 72 hours to dismiss it with a notice of liability, and they ignored that. So now I got a $10 million lawsuit against them for not allowing me at court access.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, it breaks my heart because I feel like that's what they're doing to us to keep us from being there.
Yeah.
Like we holding these over our head. It's malicious. And I pray that the prosecutor finds it in her heart to do the right thing and she's not corrupt. Billy Shars or whatever her name is, because on their own website, they say that they fight against political corruption. We're supposed to be able to call the district attorney and say, hey, there's political corruption being here. But guess what? They're all around the same age. They all look alike with their blonde hair, blue eyes, and they all hang out together. So they're not going to hold each other accountable. And this is where we are.
Yeah, that's why I've escalated mine to the federal state district attorney up in Portland now for the District of Oregon. And
that's what we need to do. Man.
We'll see how his name's Scott something, I think. But so I sent him a big package just a few days ago. So he should be getting that early next week, and we'll see where that goes.
Cash Patel, for the people to tell on them.
Woman doesn't care.
Well, whatever we can do, Cam's really helped us a lot. We're trying to get these paperwork printed out and signed so we can submit it and get this stuff taken care of. And so that's what we're going to work on this week because it's just taking too long. It's been going on for 3 years. This guy's been harassing me and stalking me. And then he tries to talk to me like he's the victim. Oh, I got bigger fish to fry. And, you're lucky that, you're not in the state anymore. And I'm just going to let it go now. And, here's your stuff back. But they already done did the damage. They already done stole everything. They already lied. They already cheated. They already ruined our business. And he acts like there's nothing he can do. You need to call down there to Ponca City, Charlie Warner, and be a man. Have honor in your heart and say, hey, I made a mistake. I should have never called you guys and told you about these people, because he even told me, oh, you guys are doing what you guys are doing is legal. I wish I was smart enough to do that. Why would he tell me that, but then try to get these people to take my life?
Because death comes at you with a smile.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
pretend you're your friend, gives you a hug, and stabs you in the back.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Here, just be happy that I'm terrorizing you. Just relax. Just step out of the car and just let me beat you, and it'll be over soon. I mean, that's how they
You need
treated
to
me.
go at him for defamation, for ruining your business directly as a man, and file criminal charges against him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can do that through the federal, state, district attorney for your district, wherever.
Okay, federal, state, district attorney. Okay.
The time is hot.
Look at the AO-91 form through the.
Whoops, hang on a sec.
Say that one more time. AO
AO-91. I'll put it in the chat.
91 form. All right, thank you.
Okay.
And
then
that
A
goes to
lot of
state
public
district.
officials have been arrested. Only
Yes,
a
they are.
few have been published. What about
Yep,
the
that's
rest?
true. That's true. Texas, a lot too. A lot of officials going
They're
down.
going
Cops getting fired.
silently. Gitmo has been remodeled. Why?
For city officials. For city officials and government agent oath takers.
Yeah,
It's all a big land grab, man.
I've got a. Don't y'all have a federal rights though on that arrest?
Yes, we have an attorney right now. He's a big time attorney. We want to give shout out to Danny Ortega and thank you for seeing our here's the deal. So thank you, Brian, for seeing our video. And he's taken upon himself and his team to help us with a federal lawsuit against the state of Arizona. So thank you, sir.
Know what all are the elements surrounding that one as far as the claims that are being brought forth?
Well, it was an unlawful stop from the beginning. They followed us for 7 hours. They were told
7 miles.
7 miles, excuse me. And they were told the cops, and I kind of don't blame them, but I still do because they should have some
They
sense.
didn't have to beat him.
They didn't have to beat me. Told them I had a warrant, which I did not. So basically, Warner tried to get me killed. He said we're dangerous drugs. We had guns and weapons. We're transporting drugs. We stole the truck that we own. Okay. And so these cops, no wonder there was 20 of them, and no wonder they beat the dog crap out of me because he was trying to get them to kill me pretty much and how I feel. And now I can't even think straight sometimes. My side of my face is numb. My tooth is chipped. And I have spouts of not having discernment. Like once in a while, I like blank out and I can feel like a tingle on my face. And it sucks, man.
He's not as smart as he was.
USC 549 street gang activity.
I just think of
it
Book
was
of Job,
bad.
man. That's all I can think of. Book of Job.
Wonder if
Yeah.
you could file a writ of mandamus Coronto and shut
Oh,
that
hell
whole
yes.
city down. That's
What
what that
is
would
it?
be.
Boom.
Writ of
Oh,
mandamus
damn. Do your
Coronto.
first writ of Coronto.
So put that in the chat for us.
Now write that down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that shuts the entire city down. It liquidates the whole city.
Okay.
Okay.
Corey, shout out to Carl Miller on that one there, Cam.
Carl Miller.
Yeah, Papa
Yeah.
Miller.
Yeah.
It sounds like Coronto time.
No,
Writ of Cora. What'd you say that?
Vandamus.
Coronto.
Yeah, Vandamus
What do you
Coronto.
type that in the chat?
Okay. Type in the chat, please. Yeah. And maybe Cam can look it up
I
for
did
us.
a rough draft of a Coronto.
You can
I
go to
just
a law
used
library and
ChatGPT AI.
you could go to a law library and it should have the forms.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
You can get them all online.
and
I just need
jurisprudence,
to know how
forms,
you're
and
spelling it,
practices.
because I'm not speaking your language. I'm sorry. I'm smart, but I'm not.
Not speaking Latin, brother.
It's a green book, and jurisprudence,
Okay.
forms and practices.
Okay.
I hope I spelled that right.
You can get it online. It's
Okay.
PDF.
Okay.
I don't see anything, man.
Me neither.
Didn't pop up.
What are y'all looking for?
And
Writ of Vandamus Coronto.
Writ
Yeah.
of Cora
Toronto.
something.
There it is. Writ of Bandamus
picture.
Ron. I'll take a picture. Yeah. Awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got work
It
to
pulls
do.
their public charter. It's like their driver's
Oh.
license.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's
Let's
what I
It's
was
go.
like
talking
shutting
about.
down a Walmart in your city. It's like they can't be there. And
That's
I
okay.
think
They're no longer a city. If you have
Yeah.
evidence of them doing crimes, they're no longer a city.
Getting a judge to sign that, though.
Well, that's what I was talking
Yeah.
about in relation to Robert Ritzman on the charter aspect of it all, which I reached out to Robert. He hasn't hit me back yet, but I'll probably reach out to him again today after this one and get him on board just to kind of give him at least a breakdown or maybe establish contact between y'all two to see what Robert Ritzman thinks about it because, yeah, I think The probable cause hearing is probably going to be the most important if you can get that on an appearance, not not having to appear directly there. Of course, you're out of state as far as your domicile is concerned. That's going to be the biggest one. And then what, y'all are both $50,000 on bail? Is that what it is?
Yeah. And they already stole all our money, and they keep stealing more.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
really
we paid them for a permit and a lien,
Yeah, we
and then
didn't
the
need-
next day they like
Turned off the power.
canceled it and said it was fraudulent. I'm like, give me my money back,
And they
and then they just ignored me.
It's you're at an impossibility for a payment of debt without being a party to a fraud.
Yeah, that'd be violation of your contract. They shut your stuff off after you pay them.
Yeah. Because there is no money. There is no money, so
Yeah. It's all contracts,
you're at
right?
an impossibility to pay without being party to a fraud.
Yeah, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't think these charges are gonna stick.
I know, but I just don't want to get kidnapped and beaten again. I don't think I can take it. I don't think I can allow myself to be taken.
I'm not going to stay in Ponca City jail. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I'm just
but
not.
I can
Because
only imagine how
The
disgusting
man
it
threatened
is.
me to my face, and if they get a hold of me and put me in this case, I feel like if something happens to me, I'm going to say this on record. If something happens to me, they did it. I'm not going to suicide myself. I'm not going to do anything or cause harm to anybody. But if something happens to me, they did it.
Well, there's so many federal crimes here. Everything from 18 U.S.C. 241 to 249 has been pretty much committed against you guys.
Bro, the probable cause.
249 is hate crimes, and then 549 is street gang activity, and and then we got Hobbs Act violations under 18 U.S.C. 1951, and mail fraud, security fraud, all it just lines up down the road.
To me, it tripped me out just on the aspect that the probable cause is so weak, bro. It's
stupid.
It's stupid.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
stupid.
No evidence.
Yeah,
And the DA should have had more sense. She should have said, "No, I don't want this. Get out of here with that." But she's, she is what she is.
Return our phone calls.
No, coward.
Extortion and racketeering.
Exactly. They're all in it. They're all in cahoots. There's no doubt about it. Because how come a private attorney knows our business when we're doing business with him? How is a city attorney calling him, telling him our business? And like, who does that? Like, that's way out of line.
Well, it makes me wonder too, because it kind of states that the city attorney either reached out to the Arizona one. I don't know. It says he established contact. It doesn't really say that Chris Warner or the Warner dude ended up calling the city attorney. It just says we established contact. So it's very vague.
Why he did that? Yeah, he did that on purpose. I'm gonna tell you why. Charlie Warner knows he wasn't supposed to be calling and doing all this stuff to us because he was already under investigation with Internal Affairs. We didn't Internal Affairs things. So he worded it like that on purpose. Detective Corey Vincent is scum because he knows how would Ponca City call Charlie Warner? They don't know who we were. They don't know anything about us.
Right.
Charlie Warner took our paperwork. He saw that we had all these properties. He's like, oh God, we got to get them. And called up there and said, these people are committing fraud. I want you to get them. They're committing crimes in Arizona. And he has a warrant out for his arrest for dangerous drugs. Just saying whatever he can because he hates me. That's sick.
He hates you because you're smarter than him.
Well, it's definitely defamation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's included in the federal suit. Is that correct?
Yeah.
With attempt to cause harm, and so, he should be in jail for sure.
Yep. And that's what it's all about. That's why they're not listening to the law. That's why they're not trying to call us back because they want some idiotic cop on the street, some moron who's like, I'm just doing my job to tase me, beat me, and to put me in a torture cuffs and put me in jail so that they can say, oh, we got him. Ha, ha, ha.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it again.
Exactly. I don't never want to do it again. I ain't did nothing to nobody. I have a right to travel.
Yeah, that's 18 USC 549.
Exactly.
USC, I wrote that down.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a passenger anyway,
actually,
which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's actually
And
the
honestly,
freedom of movement under liberty. Sorry, ma'am.
Oh, no, it's okay. That's important. Thank you. The cop was actually going to let me go at the stop because they had no reason to detain me. There was no lawful reason for it, and they didn't issue me a citation. And then when I refused to speak to him and I invoked my
Fifth Amendment
right. He literally arrested me. And in court, my attorney says, "Why did you arrest her?" "Because she refused to speak to me." I am not joking you. Those were his exact words.
He's going down too. He's definitely going down.
So I spent 3 days in jail.
Yep.
And I mean, I know 3 days.
We get that a lot here. We get not speaking and not listening.
Yeah.
Yes. Disobedience to tyranny is obedience to God.
Yep, that's right. And you know what? The same cop in the court said, her attorney said, "Is the plates active and are they registered up to date?" He goes, "Yes, but I still believe that it's not." He literally said he believes that it's not. I swear, I have the transcripts, the hearing.
It was crazy.
I have it on recording. He literally said that. And he said that he's an ID specialist and he knows that my ID was fake. Then why they give it back?
Yeah, I had corporate IDs with I go by my maiden name.
Yeah, that's her maiden name.
And apparently I'm a fraudster because I went back to my God-given name after my divorce.
Yeah.
My attorney called him out on that too, and he made a complete buffoon of himself. Yeah. It was something.
It's something.
It's something to listen to if you want a good laugh.
Yeah, if you want a good laugh, that'd be a good preliminary hearing to listen to. Because the judge even said, whoa, stop, because we were just destroying this cop. And the judge came and he said, "Hold on, we don't want to talk about anything that's legal and lawful." We're like, wait a minute, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
They actually stopped
questioning
the proceedings.
It was
interesting. Yeah, and then her case disappeared. It just went bye-bye.
Put a rough draft of writ quo warranto and documents and templates in Discord.
Okay. I got you. Thank you very much.
Well, what I wanted to do is we're a little bit over 3 hours just for the public transmission on this one. What I want to do is first off, I want to thank you for standing up, for being courageous, for doing the right thing, and attempting to rid this system of its corruption and the people that are working in relation to corruption. We can clearly see the conspiracy on a federal level here with this agency. The probable cause statement and affidavit that we just went through, of course, there are claims, but there is no substantial evidence whatsoever in relation to those claims, such as any burglary or items being stolen. We know now of title by possession or adverse possession there in Oklahoma is 60.333 or chapter 60, title 60 under 333, subsection 333. And we can clearly see that by the rules, you have to hostile, openly and publicly take over a property and to claim ownership of said property because it is abandoned or has been abandoned. It was on the abandoned list. You've paid the taxes. They haven't paid it back. It just seems like a whole civil dispute that has turned into a criminal element, but those, again, elements are not being met. There's no willful intent as well. And so looking at it plainly on the surface level for what it is, we would think that the Ponca City is going to operate in the interest of justice rather than protect its individuals that have already been there within the city for so long to capitalize on what they would normally capitalize on. But I say we're going to put out there to the universe that everything is going to work out according to God's plan. I think we're going to put this out and continue to make sure that every possible resource that we have throughout Wisedome and all the connections that we have can put this out to the universe to get more attention on it. I think if we just put more information within the general and Wisedome chats within our Discord, we can get some more communications and people reaching out to trying to understand exactly why this is happening. And I, to be in all honesty with you, I'm looking at it and it just seems as though y'all have done your due diligence as far as sending out all the paperwork to try and be in compliance and work with the city in every form and fashion. Again, open and hostile, being public, nothing that's been secretive, and that everything's going to work in your favor. Yeah.
It will.
Yeah. So any closing statements or remarks that y'all want to make before closing this episode of Operation Wisedome out?
What do we always say? Anything meant for our evil, God will turn for our good. Yeah, I recite that daily.
Just want to say thanks for all the Wisedome members, the people, Brian from Here's the Deal, BZ Watchdog for their videos and their due diligence, for their phone calls. And I want to thank the city of Ponca, the residents, for being sweet to us and having our back out there while we're working and helping. And Cam, you are an anointed man. And I'm here for you the best way I can. If I get free, you have all of me. Okay. Thank you, brother.
This gives me tears. I appreciate all of you. And like he said, BZ and all of them, because if it weren't for you guys, he would still be in jail. They would have buried us.
Yeah, they tried.
And I got tears. I'm sorry, but this has been very stressful.
No, yeah, it is stressful. But don't let it stress you out. Just know, hey, we're gonna win this. Like y'all tried, but it ain't gonna succeed. The elements don't meet as far as the statutory definitions. I mean, at all. They don't meet. They don't match. You don't meet the elements whatsoever, and there's no way that they're ever going to be able to prove intent as far as burglary is concerned. They're just not. Y'all were pretty open and notorious with what you were trying to, or you were doing, not trying, you were doing. So yeah, I just want y'all to remember, just as much as everybody else that's watching this, I am you, we are us. We are all a part of this great I am as far as life and the experience that we are blessed to have. Everybody, if y'all want to unmute and say goodbye, world, or y'all join up, whatever y'all want to say, y'all go ahead and say it now as we close out this Operation Wisedome.
Great day, Americans.
That's right. God bless.
Check out the whole foundation.
Check out the whole foundation for sure.
God bless you guys. Honor, integrity, love, peace, passion. Come on.
Yeah,
somebody.
Anonymity.
Yeah. Peace.